about past statements considered to be anti-Semitic.
And my question to you is whether you think I should be worried about my genetics as an Ashkenazi Jew because I did contract COVID.
No, not at all.
Kennedy has faced removal from social media platforms because of his criticism of vaccines. He argues that censorship leads to labels about people that aren't true.
And they're applied to me to silence me.
On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
The president focusing on the economy in Philadelphia.
I came to office determined to strengthen the middle class.
Arguing Bidenomics is doing that and using a wind farm ship project as an example of his policies attracting private investment, as the White House continues to shrug off low poll numbers on his handling of the economy. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Why you should keep an eye on the radar. 87 degrees, mostly cloudy on the circle. Radar clear for now, but rain is expected later this afternoon. Marion and surrounding counties are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 tonight. A low of 64, by the way, also expected. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Severe weather possible across all of Indiana today. John Hayrick reports.
The best chances for that are between 2 and 8 Eastern time. As for the biggest problems you might see,
it looks like at this point it would probably be damaging winds. And that's pretty common in the summertime when we do have thunderstorms that get to severe levels. Usually the damaging winds are the first concern.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis says there could also be hail and an isolated tornado. Then starting Friday, it gets less humid across the state. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
There was a fatal shooting in downtown Indy right by the Indiana War Memorial.
Shortly before 7 o'clock a.m., IMPD officers were dispatched to North and Meridian area on a report of a person shot.
IMPD Lieutenant Shane Foley says they got there and found a man dead. They spoke with witnesses and gathered enough info to detain another man at the scene. Foley says the investigation is far from over. Vice President Kamala Harris was in Indianapolis this afternoon.
Yesterday in the state of Florida, they decided middle school students will be taught that enslaved people benefited from slavery. They insult us in an attempt to gaslight us, and we will not stand for it.
She was the keynote speaker at the Social Action Luncheon for the Delta Sigma Theta Convention, one of the largest historically black sororities in the country. Harris said extremists want to teach revisionist history. There were a couple of big Powerball winners in Indiana Wednesday, with the jackpot reaching more than $1 billion. One Hoosier bought a ticket worth $1 million in Carmel. Another person won $100,000, cut that number in half, and you have the prize for 3 other tickets that were purchased in the state. If you think gas prices are too high, they're at least down $1 from a year ago. Gas Buddy says the average for a gallon of regular today is $3.48. It's also 5 cents cheaper than a month ago. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Oh, man, AAA saved me the other day. Got into my car to go to work, dead. Wouldn't start, needed a new battery. AAA was in my driveway within 30 minutes, yanked the old one out, put the new one in, and I was on my way. Hey, big news from my friends at AAA. Another way your AAA membership could save you money. AAA's newest approved service partner, Jiffy Lube of Indiana, offers AAA members $25 off a Jiffy Lube signature service oil change every Thursday on AAA Day. Just show your AAA card and save.
And don't forget AAA's legendary roadside service. Flat tire, dead battery, run out of gas, lock your keys in the car. AAA is there 24/7, 365. What are you waiting for? Join AAA today. To get your AAA membership, visit AAA.com. Call 844-GO-AAA-GO or visit a local AAA office. AAA members save $25 every Thursday on AAA Day at Jiffy Lube. Visit AAA.com/Jiffy Lube to find a location near you.
With traffic on the 5s at 3:05, here's Alan Green.
Thanks, Harrison. 465 eastbound jams up Keystone to 69. Southbound, it's heavy from 71st to 56th. And 70 westbound before the north split. A crash has a left lane blocked. Traffic is backed up from Emerson. 465 southbound slows from 69 to about Shadeland. This report brought to you by Comcast Business. Is it possible to protect your small business from big cyber threats? It is, with the help of advanced security from Comcast Business. Restrictions apply, requires Comcast Business Internet, leased router, and Security Edge. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies today. It is going to be incredibly humid with showers and thunderstorms possible late this afternoon into the evening. Highs near 86. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
So, Hammer, it's been an interesting 24 hours for the, I guess you'd call him a Republican candidate, Jefferson Shreve, who is running for mayor against Joe Hogsett. The controversy is stemming from his public safety policy, more specifically the part in there where it mirrors Hogsett's policy of gun grabbing,
right?
Of gun control. And you're a Marion County resident. I work in Marion County. My family lives in Marion County, downtown. And this has just sort of been kind of an inexplicable blunder, needless. It just didn't need to happen this way. And I'm wondering if you are still, as a Marion County voters, I don't live in Marion County, are you still planning on voting for him? Or are you going to sit this one out? Have you made that decision yet?
Well, as of right now, I am not voting for Jefferson Shreve, and I sure as hell am not voting for Joe Hogsett. So this means, as of right now, my options are either I sit this one out or I write in Abdul. And I'm leaning toward just writing in Abdul Hakim Shabazz for mayor of Indianapolis. Now, I understand some people, some Republicans would say, you're throwing your vote away. But why should I reward somebody with my vote when he clearly doesn't give a damn about me? And if you look at what's taken place the last 24 hours, just the last 24 hours with the Jefferson Shreve campaign, this tells you who they are, right? So instead of coming on to WIBC and having a tough conversation with us, or even with Rob Kendall or Tony Katz, they ran to the Indy Star. There's an op-ed by Jefferson Shreve in the Indy Star right now. Meanwhile, one of his main advisors, this Mark Lubbers character.
Who?
Exactly. He's going on social media. Now, mind you, this old fossil probably tweets 5 or 6 times a year, tops. All of a sudden, he's on social media picking fights with Guy Relford, the man that sticks up for gun right owners all over the city and state. Guy Relford, he's picking a fight with him while making fun of this radio station and the people that listen to it, WIBC. So in 24 hours, you've got them running to the liberal Indy Star. You've got the advisor ripping on conservative WIBC. I mean, let's call it what it is, even though we rip everybody evenly, I feel like. Is that a good look for conservatives in Indianapolis? Is this somebody you feel comfortable hitching your wagon on? Somebody that's already blaming law-abiding citizens for the problems that we've got in Indianapolis. So much that he's campaigning on it. It wasn't like it was a little part of his deal. No. Don't let people tell you, well, the gun grabbing was just a small part of his plan. No, that's a pretty big plan. And he's writing op-eds. He's campaigning on it. I got news for you. And I said this earlier when I jumped on with Rob. If you don't know Indianapolis, and I know this is a strong radio signal, we damn near go statewide. Here's what you need to know about Indianapolis. It's not people exercising constitutional carry that is the problem in this city right now. That has nothing to do with the crime or the homicides or the way things are. But this guy, Mr. Run to the Indy Star, Mr. Bash Guy Relford, they're blaming the law-abiding citizens for it. So I cannot reward that person with my vote.
And not only that, it's just a dumb political move. I mean, to quote James Briggs from Axios, who used to write for the Indy Star, quote, Shreve's left turn on guns is an unequivocal win for Hogsett.
He gets it.
Yeah, he's talking about a law that they want to implement that they can't implement in Marion County.
Right.
It's you can't do what they want to do county by county. There's the Preemption Act that says only, the state legislature can make these rules. All right, so if you want to get rid of constitutional carry, you want to get rid of concealed carry, which I don't know if Shreve wants to get rid of concealed carry, but I know definitely Hogsett does. That's stuff you can't do county by county. Even logistically, that would be ridiculous.
And Joe Hogsett knows that too. Hogsett knows he can't get away with that. The city county council, those Democrat seals that clapped right along with it, they know that's never going to become the law. It was a horrible Hail Mary for a guy that had bad polling numbers. And what does Jefferson Shreve do? And his team of advisors, they look at that and go, hot damn, that's a great idea. Let's pick him up. Let's throw him a lifeline here. Let's throw him a life raft as he's jumping off the Titanic. This is why so many people are frustrated, because it feels like during the primary process, a lot of people who voted for Shreve now feel like they wasted their vote. So as of right now, my plan is to just vote in Abdul. I'm going to write in my candidate because neither one of these zeros have earned the right for my vote. I'm just one man.
You made a good point earlier, I believe, when you were talking to Rob on his show this morning, is that the numbers, the homicides, the crime was the highest, and we didn't have constitutional carry a couple of years ago, right?
Correct.
We didn't have that. And now Hogsett's trying to brag that the numbers are way down in this city. But we don't have constitutional carry.
But yet it's constitutional carry's fault. You can't have it both ways. See, he's so desperate. He's throwing crap against the wall in hopes that it sticks, and they want you to believe it. And here's the other thing. If you notice any social media posts from Jefferson Shreve or this Lubbers nerd, watch the people that respond and like it, like in a positive manner. People that like it. It's a lot of left-leaning people. It's the Adam Wrens. It's the Axios writers. Those are the people that are liking posts from the Republican candidate here in Indianapolis. And as for this Lubbers character, he went after Guy Relford on Twitter. Did you see Guy's response,
Yeah,
Nige?
that's great.
I'm going to read this here. Quote, and this is from Guy Relford to the advisor of the Shreve campaign. Quote, here's an interesting fun fact that explains a lot. Richard Lugar, Republican, had a long and distinguished career in the U.S. Senate, but he eventually voted for an assault weapons ban, earned an F rating from the NRA, an extreme rarity for a Republican, and was then defeated by Richard Murdoch in the Republican primary in 2012. Who was Lugar's longtime campaign manager? Mark Lubbers, the chief strategist for the Jefferson Shreve campaign for Indy mayor.
I mean, for God's sake, Lugar was probably one of the most iconic, well-respected political figures the state's ever seen, and Lubbers took him right down the tubes. Got beat by Murdoch, for God's sake.
This race and what's happening here in Indianapolis starting to get some national attention, and Indiana Senator Mike Braun, who is running to be the governor in Indiana, he put out a statement. Now, tell me who you think he's talking about in this statement, Nige. Quote, national and local politicians across the country are always trying to restrict the rights of law-abiding citizens. We need to set into law that no one can declare a national health emergency to seize the power or restrict our Second Amendment rights with the stroke of a pen. I will stand up for Hoosiers' gun rights.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Senator on tomorrow to talk more about that.
So, again, I'm just one man, and I understand if some Republicans want to be mad at me, but understand this. I was all in on Jefferson Shreve because I can't stand the way Joe Hogsett runs this city, the way he rips on police to the public, the way he runs and hides when there's riots going on. 4 more years of this guy as the mayor is going to be a mess. I'm not going to vote for that guy. I wanted Shreve to win this thing, but he lost me by blaming me and people like me about the crime in Indianapolis. So I'm writing in Abdul. If you guys want to join me, be my guest. There's a lot of time between now and November. Maybe things will change. I don't know, but that's my plan as of right now. All right, Alan Green is filling in for Matt Bear.
Thanks, guys. 465 southbound jams up Allisonville to 75th. 465 southbound on the west side, solid from 71st to 56th. 70 westbound before the north split, a crash blocking the left lane as traffic backed up from Emerson. 65 northbound hits the brakes from Raymond to the south split. This report brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Okay, can we address the elephant in the room? Not that I would know what this is like, but it sounds like Alan Green is in the trunk of a mafia hitman's car right there. We may have to get that worked out. 87 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, keeping an eye on the radar. Storms starting to pop up. We'll let you know if anything serious happens a little bit later on.
This is a coordinated monthly test of the broadcast stations of your area. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. If this had been an actual emergency, such as a tornado or flash flood or a civil emergency warning, official messages would have followed the alert tone. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been a local, family-owned and operated business for nearly 50 years and helps keep Central Indiana's economy strong by employing over 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis stands by their products and services while they share and embrace our conservative values. So when you have garage door problems, call them today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis, 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Now through month end, get summer road trip ready at Hubler, where every new car includes their 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Visit drivehubler.com.
Life is all about enjoying the little moments. Don't miss out on them because of unexpected heart issues. At Community Health Network, you receive heart care you can trust. From simple screenings to life-saving diagnostic and interventional cardiology services, we offer it all, so you can get back to the moments that matter. Learn more about our services at ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care simply delivered.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Dreaming about the freedom of the open road? Your local Tire Barn warehouse is now a full-service location, offering high-quality Valvoline oil changes. Your vehicle will be ready for any adventure, whether it's a road trip or a day at the beach. All Valvoline oil changes include a free courtesy inspection of your vehicle's fluid levels, battery, brakes, steering and suspension, tire tread depth, and pressure. Tire Barn is now offering appointment-free Valvoline oil changes. Whatever your dreams are this summer, Tire Barn Warehouse is here to drive them. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
We've all dealt with a contractor who doesn't make you a priority. At Indy Decorative Concrete, we are invested in each of our customers and strive to make the project effortless from start to finish. Indy Decorative Concrete. Big enough to service, but small enough to care.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
It is the Hammer and Nigel Show. Hear a little blues coming in right there.
Oh, yeah, love it.
And Nigel, when you think of the blues in Indianapolis, what's the one place that pops into your mind right away?
Oh, please, the Noodle. Are you kidding me?
The Slippery Noodle Inn, and Sean is here from the Noodle. Sean, what's up, man?
How you guys doing? Appreciate you having me in here.
So correct me if I'm wrong. You are a relatively new owner to what is the oldest bar in Indianapolis. Is that right?
Correct. My partner and I took over in March.
How did that all come to be? I mean, it's like one thing to be a couple of guys drunk in a bar one night. Let's start our own bar. It'd be awesome to run my own bar. But you were like, you took it to the next level. You're like, let's buy the most iconic bar in the city of Indianapolis, possibly the Midwest. How did you come to this decision?
Part of me is wondering why I did that. So the long hours, but I'm loving it. We've been friends with Hal, the prior owner, and his family, and had called on the Slippery Noodle for years in my prior jobs. Just been a fan of it. Loved going there. Actually, my wife and I started dating there. The general manager, Marty, married my wife and I.
Oh, wow.
So we had this personal connection to that bar. And then when Hal passed away a few years ago, we started talking to the family about selling it. And we lucked out that they trusted us with the legacy of it. And so we jumped in and bought it.
That was important to them before
it was.
They sold
That's what we told them. We're not coming in to change it, make it anything crazy. We wanted to kind of clean it up and tweak it a little bit. And just keep it going with lots of live blues and great music.
We were talking before we came back on the air. One of my buddies is part of the previous ownership, a guy I went to high school with named Josh. And you guys used to hang out a little bit, and we were telling some war stories. I don't want to get too into the weeds here, but man, that was such an important part of that family's life was that bar. And again, I can't believe that the process seemed like it went smooth and seamless.
It was kind of quiet under the radar. She didn't want it really public that we were buying it, so it was really quiet for everybody. It was a little bit of a shock, but once we got through it, we promised them that we would kind of keep the noodle what it was and keep blues there and keep the good food, and we retained a lot of the staff too.
And the key is you're really no rookie in this business, right?
No, I've got 25 years in it. My partner's owned bars prior to this, so we have a lot of experience in this town and selling alcohol and running bars and restaurants. So yeah,
I really think it says a lot that Slippery Noodle's been open this long, and I mean because there are some bars that are open and shut, bad management. Slippery Noodle survived. They weathered the COVID storm, and some people didn't make it back from that, but you guys are thriving now. And I know there's a reason you're here. You have an event this weekend, but how has it been since new ownership? I mean, what has anything changed at all? I know there was that thing there where what you were going to let kids in or not, or what? Yeah, what was that thing?
So the Yagi family had kids in there. It was an all ages place.
Yeah.
They managed it so that kids were allowed there before 7:30 on weekends.
That's right. Okay.
And before 9. When we took over, there was just a confusion on some of the paperwork that said that it was allowed or not allowed. We got it cleared up with the city of Indianapolis, and they were fine. And we went back to the original vision of allowing families in there during certain time periods.
How do you guys keep control of the clientele that goes in? Because, again, you guys have been around, the bar has been around for so long. There are other bars in the city that, have had a long run of success, but next thing you know, there's a lot of police runs, couple fights.
Same in Broad Ripple, too.
Yep.
Same in Broad Ripple. How do you guys keep control of everybody there?
We decided to be really good at what we are, which is a blues club and a good restaurant. So our target market is probably a little bit older clientele. We don't get a lot of the younger folks in there that sometimes may be attributed to some of those issues. So it's a pretty calm place. I've only heard of a handful of fights ever in the building. Some of the longtime veterans will tell you some stories from way, way back, but it's a pretty calm crowd. They just want to hear good music and have good food and have a good time. So we really are lucky that their guests that come in there respect the place.
Do any artists that perform, not necessarily at the Noodle, but like even bigger artists that go to Cambridge or Ruoff, do they ever stop by and get on stage? You have like surprise special guests sometimes that you weren't expecting?
We haven't yet, but they have in the past. They've had a lot of great artists in the past. Dan Aykroyd's played there a couple of times. Yeah. I've heard rumors that Billy Joel came in once when he was in town. So there was a long list of folks that have stopped through there. So we're hoping to continue that, whether it's artists from the Lawn or from Cambridge, that they stop by and hang out for a little bit.
So this Saturday is the inaugural Red, White, and Blues event. This is the first time. The Noodle normally doesn't do these types of deals, but this is like an all-day blues festival festival, food and drinks and live music. Tell me about it.
So typically in July, downtown Indianapolis is a little bit slower time period, so we just want to drive some more traffic down. So we picked 3 of our biggest bands that have the best draw for us and decided to have an all-day festival. So we thought it'd be great to have a cookout and kind of title it Red, White, and Blues. So families can come out, folks can come out. We'll have the grill going with hot dogs, burgers, and pulled pork. Rebecca and Joe's our first band. They're an acoustic duo that she's
She's
great
amazing.
Voice. Yeah,
I've
she's
seen
awesome.
her perform. She's been by when we've had Radiothon before and performed a song, and she's amazing.
Yeah. She's a beautiful voice and just a sweet person. And then our second artist will be Zach Day, younger guy, great guitarist, does some traditional blues, some rock and roll. He'll get a little more mainstream of stuff, but he puts on a great show. And then our headliner is The Elect, which is probably one of the funnest bands that comes through the Noodle. They are just a fun party band, and they'll mix everything up. They do some blues, they do some dance stuff, they do some rock, they do it all. They're just a great band.
And is this something where you can buy tickets in advance? Can you buy tickets at the door the day of? How does that work?
The best part, there's no cover charge, no tickets. It
Excellent.
is
Perfect.
open to the public and free. Free is one of our favorite words, so it's a free concert for everybody.
That is amazing. Have you guys been able to keep staff? Because one of the things we talk about a lot on this show is, man, you look around pretty much every major city, we're hiring. Now hiring is all over the place. Do you guys have a lot of change out, a lot of turnout?
I'll tell you what, we really lucked out when we took over the place. There's a lot of veterans that have been there for a long period of time. We've got a day bartender who's going on, I think, 25 years.
Wow.
Kitchen staff. We have a lady that just celebrated our 29th anniversary there. Our main kitchen manager's 20 years in. So we retained the veteran staff. They were great. They jumped in. They kind of enjoyed the changes we made.
Yeah,
and
well,
been great.
I think it's a reflection of management. A lot of times, some of these places, some of the bars or restaurants have horrible management, and that's why you see such a lot of turnover in some of those types of venues.
Yeah,
that kind of just reflects positively on you guys, which have been around the game a long time, local owners taking over an iconic brand in this city.
Yeah, we're lucky that my partner Jason and I both will take the trash out. We'll run food. We'll wait tables. We'll do whatever just to jump in and help those folks out. We've realized we've got a great team there and we want to support them. So we jump in and help out wherever we can. And we're blessed that they've worked hard for us and they're continuing to do a good job.
So you don't anticipate bar rescue coming by anytime soon? That's what you're telling me.
John Taffer's not going to tap you on the shoulder.
I hope we never get to that point.
Sean, take the trash out, Sean. You're just standing around, Sean. Love bar rescue. All right. One more time, tell us about Red, White, and Blues this weekend.
So this Saturday, July 22nd, the doors open at 2 p.m. The first band goes on at 3 o'clock. We got Rebecca and Joe, Zach Day, The Elect. We'll have great cocktails out there with Jameson Whiskey, Absolute, Malibu, Big Wave, Kona Big Wave, Budweiser products. The grill will be going with hot dogs, burgers, pulled pork. Lots of great fun. Just a great day. The weather's going to be perfect. Hopefully it stays that way. Nice. So should be a great day in downtown Indy.
Sean Lothridge, Slippery Noodle Inn. Thank you so much, man.
Thanks,
I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
It's a Hammer and Nigel show.
Why sell your car at WeBuyAnyCar.com? Because when you trade in, you're dealing with a dealer. And sure, they're interested in a good deal. For them, not for you. Come to WeBuyAnyCar.com instead. All we do is buy cars. You get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price. So don't take chances with a trade-in. Go to WeBuyAnyCar.com for a free online valuation.
Find out how much your car's worth at WeBuyAnyCar.
Hammer and Nigel here for your Central Indiana American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro Dealer. They're Absolute Comfort. Absolute Comfort specializes in Mitsubishi Electric Ductless Mini Splits. They're these diverse systems that can be mounted on your wall or flush with the ceiling, and they heat and cool at a very efficient level. These systems can be used to heat or cool specific rooms without ductwork, which ends up being a very clean way to heat and cool your home or maybe even your garage.
These high-tech units are how most of the world heats and cools their homes and their offices. These Mitsubishi electric ductless systems have advancements that can sense when a person is in a room and can warm or cool the room to that person's wishes. For the ultimate in efficiency and comfort, contact Chris Wedekin at Absolute Comfort to find out more. AbsoluteComfort.org. That's AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro Dealer. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Are you working way too hard for way too little? There's never been a better time to consider a career in IT. You could enjoy a recession-resistant career in a rewarding field with plenty of growth opportunities and often flexible work environments. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. You could start your new career in months, not years. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to qualified students, including the GI Bill. Now is the time. mycomputercareer.edu.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
It's going to rain, cloudy and 88 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Marion and the surrounding counties are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 tonight. Temps drop down into the 60s later. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:31. There are chances for severe weather in Indiana this afternoon.
From a severe weather standpoint, though, some of the storms might be intense enough to produce some at least strong winds, if not damaging winds, and even a few of the storms could produce some hail as well, so we'll have to watch for that.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service says tornado chances can't be ruled out either, even though it's unlikely. It's not been reported who started shooting, but a police chase that started in Michigan ended with the suspect dead in South Bend Wednesday. Police tried pulling over Joshua Ringel in Niles when he took off after crashing his car into a South Bend police squad car. He started running toward the St. Joseph River. That's when gunshots were heard. Ringel was found dead near the river. An autopsy is scheduled for Friday. The vice president spent some time in Indianapolis today.
You showed up and you helped elect Joe Biden president of the United States and me, the first black woman to ever serve as Vice President of the United States.
Kamala Harris was the keynote speaker at the Social Action Luncheon, which was part of the Delta Sigma Theta Convention, which started Tuesday. Bidenomics is better than trickle-down economics, says the president, while at a shipyard in Philly.
800,000 manufacturing jobs, 28,000 here in Pennsylvania alone in the last 2.5 years. That's more jobs in 2 years than any president has created in a 4-year term.
Biden was there for the steel cutting ceremony for a union-built vessel, which will help create a new offshore wind farm expected to power over 1 million homes. Republicans say Biden needs to cool it with the green energy talk and focus on Americans dealing with high inflation. If the thought of a man-eating snapping turtle keeps you up at night, don't worry, you're not going to find one of those in Indiana, says the Indiana DNR. The office is trying to squash a rumor that started from a viral Facebook post claiming a 300-year-old 9-foot snapping turtle killed a man in Monroe Lake. None of that is true, says the DNR, so you don't have to think twice the next time you jump into a lake to cool off this summer. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:33.
Did you know 96% of Americans, 96% forfeit $111,000 in Social Security income?
That sounds like a lot of people losing a lot of money.
Yeah, well, it's true. But you can learn how you can avoid this with the free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. You know, we trust Bill. We're clients of his, and he knows Social Security like the back of his hand.
This free analysis pinpoints exactly when you should file for Social Security while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved at least $200,000 for retirement and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912.
Save yourself a ton of time and don't lose a dime in Social Security income. Schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
With traffic at 3:34, here's Alan Green.
465 southbound is jammed up from Keystone to 69. Southbound 465 from 71st to 56 is backed up. 65 southbound breaks between 29th and Meridian, and 70 westbound before the north split. Left lane still blocked with a crash and traffic jams back from Emerson. This report brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies today. It is going to be incredibly humid with showers and thunderstorms possible late this afternoon into the evening. Highs near 86. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
So Hammer, the they call it the select subcommittee on the weaponization of the federal government, heard testimony earlier today, and there was some irony there at the beginning, because this specific session of the weaponization was government censorship, government colluding with big tech to suppress various stories heading up to the 2020 election, including Hunter Biden's laptop.
And to cancel certain people's views from being put out there. And one of those people was Robert Kennedy Jr.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that here in just a moment, but this is where we're at right now with our government. This is exactly where we're at. The censorship committee meeting today began with Debbie Wasserman Schultz wanting to censor somebody's point of view, and that someone was Robert Kennedy Jr.
Point of order, pursuant to House Rule 11, Clause 2, which Mr. Kennedy is violative of, I move that we move into executive session because Mr. Kennedy has repeatedly made despicable anti-Semitic and anti-Asian comments as recently as last week. Mr. Chairman, I ask for a roll call vote on the motion to table.
So the irony of having a hearing about censorship start off with somebody wanting to censor somebody did not go unnoticed by a number of different members of this committee, including Thomas Massey of Kentucky.
Wow. The irony and cognitive dissonance from the other side of the aisle. It's deafening. You could cut it with a knife. They are at the same time denying that censorship is occurring, but suggesting that there's more material that needs to be censored. This is a hearing on censorship that began with an effort, with a formal motion from the other side of the aisle to censor Mr. Kennedy. They do not want him to speak, yet that is the topic of this hearing. They have kept him from speaking. A collusion between the government and private organizations.
And it's pretty rich, too, that Wasserman Schultz is accusing RFK of making some sort of weird statement about vaccines that considers anti-Semitic. It was some sort of wonky thing that he said when Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal told a group of protesters that Israel are a bunch of racists, which isn't in itself an anti-Semitic thing to say. I mean, she's a known anti-Semite.
I mean, you can't make this stuff up. The meeting about censorship, the Democrats, no, there's no online censorship. They begin the meeting with trying to censor RFK Jr. Now, we got a couple different clips here. RFK Jr. was fired up. Now, as always, when we play audio of RFK Jr., you got to just understand his voice is what it is, right? He can't help it. It is what it is. But the message of what he's saying, if you can focus on that, is pretty strong.
If the views that you and others have applied to me, have attributed to me, if they were actually true, I can see why I shouldn't be able to testify here today. Those are not true. These are defamations and malignancies that are used to censor me, to prevent people from listening to the actual things that I'm saying. And I think, ranking member, that we should have a real conversation rather than an exchange of ad hominem attacks.
So that was just the beginning. This was like a 5-minute rebuttal to a lot of the nonsense that was being thrown at RFK Jr. Now, don't get it twisted. I am not somebody that is just in love with RFK Jr.
Yeah.
Some of the things he says, all right. Some of the things, absolutely not. At the end of the day, he's still a Kennedy Democrat.
And he has a right to say them.
Bingo. That's all this was about today. Now, this is a little bit longer of a clip, but I want you to stay with me on this. Here he is talking about censorship coming from some of his friends in big tech.
The term malinformation was coined to describe information that Facebook and Twitter and the other social media sites understood was true, but that the White House and other federal agencies wanted censored anyway for political reasons because it challenged official orthodoxies. I'll give you one example. I was included in a group called the Disinformation Dozen, and Facebook and others were asked to censor us, which they did. And by the way, my whole Instagram account with 900,000 people was taken down. Facebook knew that the Disinformation Dozen claim, and what they said, if the Disinformation Dozen came from this very shady group called the Center for Preventing Digital Hate in England, that's funded by dark money, that should be looked into. They claim that 65% of the vaccine misinformation on the internet was generated by those 12 people. Facebook itself said that is impossible. That is false information. We know that not to be true. And yet, when the White House asked them to censor this Disinformation Dozen, including me, they did it anyway when they knew it to be untrue.
And the more I listen to stories like this, and there are other people that have stories similar to this, Nige, I wonder if Elon Musk never purchased Twitter, how bad would it be right now? Like, would our Twitter account have been taken down? Would folks from WIBC's Twitter account been taken down because one political side doesn't like our opinion?
Would we still have our blue check mark?
Oh, wait. Man, I've been thinking about that. Like, I want to support Elon Musk because I appreciate what he's done. But at the same time, man, I just don't want to pay for the check mark.
I don't need the check mark, especially when anybody can. It doesn't mean anything anymore. If Joe Schmo that has 6 followers can buy a blue check mark, then no thanks.
But with that, you also get a little bit more reach. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that we put out has the reach limited. So that's one of the reasons why I'm a little on the fence about it, still trying to figure it out. One more clip here from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Here he is talking about how YouTube canceled him, basically, and then his friends, his colleagues, his fellow Democrats basically gave him a middle finger.
YouTube deplatformed me. I didn't talk about vaccines in that speech. I didn't talk about anything that was a verboten subject. I just was talking about my campaign and the conversation that we ought to be having with each other as Americans. But I was shut down, and that is why the First Amendment's important. Debate, congenial, respectful debate, is the fertilizer, it's the water, it's the sunlight for our democracy. We need to be talking to each other. Now, this is a letter that many of you signed, many of my fellow Democrats. I've spent my life in this party. I've devoted my life to the values of this party. This 102 people signed this. This itself is evidence of the problem that this hearing was convened to address.
102 of his fellow Democrats signed this letter condemning the views from RFK Jr. Now, the other person speaking at this event today was our pal Emma Jo Morris.
Yeah, she's a Breitbart, the political editor there. We're trying to get her on, I believe, next Friday. But yeah, she testified today. She, of course, is the one that was reporting when she worked for the New York Post and reported on Hunter Biden's laptop from hell.
She broke the story, yeah. And then next thing you know, all hell broke loose where the New York Post, they were locked out of their social media accounts. All of the links were taken down from social media. Here is friend of the show, Emma Jo Morris.
However, the stories were not based on hacked materials, nor were they Russian disinformation. And despite those claims appearing to come out of thin air at the time, we would eventually learn that they actually didn't come out of thin air at all. On October 19th, 5 days after the Post began publishing, Politico ran a story headlined, "Hunter Biden's story is Russian disinfo, dozens of former intel officials say." God, I can't even say that with a straight face, you know? Politico printed a letter completely uncritically from veteran members of the U.S. intelligence community falsely claiming that the Post expose has, quote, all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. My God. Most notable among the signatories of that letter were Jim Clapper, from former DNI, Michael Hayden, former CIA, John Brennan, former CIA.
Yeah, all these CIA guys signed some letter that said the laptop was hacked and it was Russian disinformation when they knew all along it was all true, and nothing of the sort about being Russian disinformation was even remotely the truth. They knew it before. And this is what I'm saying here. This is collusion with government agencies, FBI, CIA, going to Google, going to Facebook, going to Twitter, colluding with them to suppress stories that could have had an outcome that could have changed the outcome of the 2020 election.
And the folks at the top of the food chain, whether it be the Biden administration, the CIA, the FBI, the Department of Justice, they felt confident. They felt bulletproof. They could go to these companies and say, hey, why don't you go ahead and do this, and don't worry about it. Nobody's going to get us in trouble anyway.
Now, fast forward to this year, 3 years later. Just last spring, House investigators revealed it was a call by now Secretary of State Antony Blinken to former acting CIA Director Michael Morell that prompted the spy letter published by Politico, which bypassed agency approval processes that would have been normally applied. It is also now known that ahead of my reporting, federal agencies were priming social media companies to execute an operation to discredit it. According to internal documents released by Elon Musk upon his acquisition of Twitter, the FBI and other intelligence community members essentially directed the platform's censorship operation, in part externally by working with top management, and in part internally by social media companies hiring eye-popping numbers of agency alumni. Journalist Michael Schallenberger reported, based on documents he obtained from Musk, that during all of 2020, the FBI and other law enforcement agencies repeatedly primed Twitter executives to dismiss reports of Hunter Biden's laptop as a Russian hack and leak operation. Feds arranged for top secret security clearances to be granted to Twitter management, and even had encrypted messaging networks set up, which they dubbed a virtual war room. To this day, hundreds of people from the intelligence community work at social media companies.
I mean, like, if you said that to somebody a couple years ago, you have a tinfoil hat on. But now it's all there, and there are receipts. Emma Jo doesn't come to a conversation without receipts. She's got all the information there.
She killed it today, for sure. We'll talk to her in a week about her testimony.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hi, it's Bob from Royal Spa. Did you know you can experience the ultimate rejuvenation with our unique hot tubs made right here in Indianapolis? Royal Spa hot tubs are the only hot tubs compatible with Epsom salts. Imagine the tensions melting away as you step into the luxury of a Royal Spa hot tub. And now is a great time to invest in your rejuvenation. We built our inventory back up and now have new models, scratch and dents, and even demos ready for delivery. Experience the difference for yourself. Visit us online at royalspa.com.
Ah, Royal Spa.
I'm going to see Foreigner. Who? No, not the Who. Foreigner. Who? Foreigner. They've got as many hits as Fleetwood Mac and Modern Journey. Listen. And you're as cold as ice. As well as. And your missus are going to love.
Foreigner with special guest Loverboy tomorrow night. Ruoff Music Center. Reserve seats on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the Coors Light concert series.
If you're a Medicaid member, you should know guaranteed coverage is coming to an end. Keep an eye on your mailbox for important information from Medicaid. When you receive it, go online and enter your updated information to maintain your coverage or to find other coverage if you're no longer eligible for Medicaid. Keep your health and keep your coverage. Learn more at fssabenefits.in.gov.
Have you lost Indiana Medicaid? At healthcare.gov, you can find a low-cost, quality health plan.
Do plans cover doctor visits?
What about emergency care?
And prescriptions?
All covered and more. Plus, with the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey, we're pretty social people at WIBC. You can find us all over social media. See what we're up to on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and on YouTube. We're never more than just away. Just search for 93 WIBC.
Alan Green filling in for Matt Baer.
Thanks, guys. On the northbound collector at Fletcher, a crash on the left shoulder. Traffic's backed up from the south split. 70 westbound before the north split. An accident still blocking the left lane. Traffic is still jammed back from Emerson. 70 westbound is heavy from the south split to west. And 465 westbound backs up Arlington to 65. This report brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Keeping an eye on the radar. Could see some storms a little bit later on. Right now, we've got cloudy skies. 87 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Let's do some booze news.
You set them up and I'll knock them back, Lloyd. One by one.
We are gonna read booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Nigel presents
Booze news, booze news. Yeah. Time for booze news. All right, Hammer, you're gonna have to help me out with this one a little bit. I'm not sure what this is. Twisted Tea, the hard iced tea, Twisted Tea, is making a wax for guys to wax their backs this summer.
You seem like you've got it pretty much understood.
Please help me with this, because I guess they're getting out of the alcohol business and getting into the back wax business.
No. They're continuing to make their Twisted Tea,
okay,
but they have an online store where you can buy a number of different items from Twisted Tea. You could buy a hat, you could buy a beach towel, or you could buy wax that you can put on and helps shave your ridiculously hairy back.
Okay, first of all, I don't have a hairy back. I got a hairy chest, but I don't have much hair.
What about hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun? But this is a real thing. I thought it was a troll thing at first. And I'm looking at their website here. Twisted Tea is launching the world's first ever hard iced tea inspired hair removal system, Twisted Tea Back Wax. Complete with ready-to-use hair removal strips and all the instructions you need for optimal waxing. It's available on a limited-time basis the next few weeks at the Twisted Tea online store.
Who's going to do this for you? Because you can't wax your own back. You're going to need some help, right?
Yeah.
Tell
you what, you find somebody to wax your back, you put a ring on it, and you love them for the rest of your life. That's what you do right there.
You know what my wife loves to do? She doesn't. I don't have a hairy back, but she loves to clean out my ears. Is that weird or what? She loves to
Pretty
get
gross.
in there. Like I got like a lake thing with my ear the other day, and she got in there. She's got all these tools because she works in medical, and she gets deep in there, and she cleans me out. Feels good.
I've had
she likes to pop my pimples too on my
I've
back.
had Crystal take that thing where you jam it up your nose and rip out all the nose hairs before. I kind of lost a bet with that one, though.
Oh, I've never heard of that. Sounds painful.
Oh, it was. It was absolutely painful. Which brings us to great moments in wax history here on the Hammer and Nigel
wax
show.
History?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Karate Kid.
Now show me wax on, wax off. Hey.
Wax on, wax
Hey.
on. Wax on, wax off. Hey.
Hey.
Wax
Hey.
on, hat.
Hey.
Wax off. Concentrate. Wax on, hat. Wax off.
And of course, you can't have great moments in wax history without that scene in The 40-Year-Old Virgin.
So ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, you! Oh, I'm sorry. That's just your job. Huh? No. Trading pie hole! Como se llama? No, Kelly Clarkson!
Great moments in wax history exclusively here on the Hammer and Nigel show. All right, coming up next, Kamala Harris the vice president, the border czar. She was in Indy speaking earlier today. I'm sure it was brilliant. We'll talk about that when we come back.
We love spring showers, but not from leaky faucets, burst pipes, or flooded basements. If you're dealing with plumbing issues, call Justin Dorsey Plumbing. We're ready to spring into action. Call 317-648-2140 for 24/7 service and no after-hours fees. That's 317-648-2140. Don't cry about your plumbing problems. Call today, fix today is the Justin Dorsey Plumbing way.
Only real estate agent I'd trust to sell my home, that would be Mark Deedle. Maybe you're a growing family or working from home means you need more space. Just like Kevin and Lori, their family was growing. Their house was too small. They found a bigger home but needed to sell their current home for top dollar to afford the bigger place. Mark Deedle's team made it happen. The old home sold in 7 days, and they made sure they closed on both houses in the same day.
You got a lot of options in the real estate game, but Mark Deedle is the only real estate expert we trust and recommend with the sale of our homes here at the Hammer and Nigel show. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. That's what makes him the best. Pick your move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel anytime. MarkDeedle.com. That's DIETEL, MarkDeedle.com, or call 755-4232. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, save up to 50% plus extra discounts for cash, plus we pay your sales tax during the Made in the USA sale. Everything from Indiana-made Smith Brothers, Lazy Boy, patio furniture by Berlin Gardens and Pollywood, and save up to $500 on mattresses, including Tempur-Pedic. Now through Monday, save big only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus with free delivery.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
to go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring at Walmart today.
Hubler has all the top brands: Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Acura, Honda, Mazda, Nissan, and more. And every new vehicle includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Looking to sell your vehicle? We'll pay you top dollar, even if you don't buy ours. Take it from Brooke Hubler.
You can get a car anywhere, but you can only get a warranty like this at Hubler. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Visit drivehubler.com.
Hubler has it all.
Warranty available on new vehicles except certain models, not transferable or available on leases. Copy of the warranty is available for review at the dealership.
Did you know 96% of Americans, 96% forfeit $111,000 in Social Security income?
That sounds like a lot of people losing a lot of money.
Yeah, well, it's true. But you can learn how you can avoid this with the free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. You know, we trust Bill. We're clients of his, and he knows Social Security like the back of his hand.
This free analysis pinpoints exactly when you should file for Social Security while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved at least $200,000 for retirement and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912.
Save yourself a ton of time and don't lose a dime in Social Security income. Schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
4 races, 3 days. The stars of NASCAR and IndyCar return for Brickyard Weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Friday, August 11th, the next generation of Indy Next by Firestone takes to the road course. Saturday features the NTT IndyCar Series Gallagher Grand Prix, followed by the NASCAR Xfinity Series Pins Oil 150 presented by Advance Auto Parts. Then Sunday the 13th, the NASCAR Cup Series takes on the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard. Power, speed, precision, and family friendly. Kids under 15 get in free. Tickets at IMS.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes, severe weather is expected in central Indiana this afternoon. Marion County under severe thunderstorm watch until 11. What Vice President Kamala Harris was doing in the capital city this afternoon. And 5 Hoosiers won big Wednesday thanks to the Powerball. All that and more coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
An appeal for unity at a hearing on censorship. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Robert Kennedy Jr. says toxic polarization is destroying the country and that silencing people doesn't help.
That only aggravates and amplifies the problem.
But fellow Democrats criticized him while accusing Republicans of trying to elevate one of President Biden's 2024 challengers and bigoted information.
Many lawmakers pointed to Kennedy's recent reference to papers out there claiming that COVID was ethnically targeted to attack Caucasians and black people, sparing the Chinese and Jews, and also his implication that Nazi Germany had more freedoms than the unvaccinated during the pandemic. But lawmakers also attacked Republicans, saying that Kennedy should never have been called up for a censorship hearing on the weaponization of government subcommittee because the government didn't censor him.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. A bill that could ease turbulent times for air travelers easily passes the U.S. House, winning broad bipartisan support. It's a 5-year reauthorization proposal for FAA programs.
Lawmakers use the bill to correct staffing deficiencies in the airline industry. They also want to reduce the high number of cancellations and technical glitches. One provision in the bill would raise the retirement age of pilots. That would keep more pilots on the job. The bill would also recruit and train additional air traffic controllers.
Fox's Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill. The Senate's working on its own version, though, and having some trouble on the fine print. A long delay on a hot plane being investigated by the U.S. Transportation Department. Secretary Pete Buttigieg telling Reuters reports of Delta passengers kept in triple-digit heat for several hours on the tarmac in Las Vegas are infuriating. Delta has said it is reviewing the incident. A rally and a sell-off for stocks. The Dow up 163 at the bell, but the NASDAQ down 2%. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Storms are on the way. Radar shows rain to the west. Marion County plus the county surrounding it are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 tonight. 88 degrees, cloudy now on the circle. Low temps into the 60s later. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Storms are expected this afternoon, and they could be severe.
It looks like at this point it would probably be damaging winds, and that's pretty common in the summertime when we do have thunderstorms that get to severe levels. Usually the damaging winds are the first concern.
Forecaster Randy Bowers also says hail and an isolated tornado can't be ruled out. Vice President Kamala Harris has a problem with book bans and what's being taught in some American classrooms.
Yesterday in the state of Florida, they decided middle school students will be taught that enslaved people benefited from slavery. They insult us in an attempt to gaslight us, and we will not stand for it.
Harris was the keynote speaker at the Social Action Luncheon for the Delta Sigma Theta Convention in Indianapolis, one of the largest historically black sororities in the country. She said extremists want to teach revisionist history. There was a fatal shooting in downtown Indy, right by the Indiana War Memorial.
Shortly before 7 o'clock a.m., IMPD officers were dispatched to North and Meridian area on a report of a person shot.
Lieutenant Shane Foley with IMPD says at the scene they found a man dead. They spoke with witnesses and gathered enough information to detain another man at the scene. Foley, though, says that investigation is far from over. Indiana State Police say they recently found new evidence in a serial killer case. Sam Fritz reports.
Investigators recently found 2 sets of DNA in Hamilton County homes that they believe might belong to the accused serial killer Herb Baumeister. The Indiana State Police are processing a new set of remains that were sent to them. Hamilton County Coroner Jeff Zelson told Wish TV that they are attempting to determine if the remains match those of previously identified individuals or are 2 people they had no prior knowledge of. There were 11 known victims at the time when Baumeister took his own life in 1996. Only 8 were identified. Police believe that new DNA technology could reveal the total victim count to be double that what was previously known. Sam Fritz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A handful of lucky Hoosiers won big on Powerball tickets Wednesday. A $1 million ticket was bought in Carmel. Someone else won $100,000, and 3 other tickets worth $50,000 were bought in the Hoosier States. Your 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:04.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose Toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's INFO 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
With traffic at 4:05, here's Alan Green.
Thanks, Harrison. On the northbound collector at Fletcher, a crash blocking the left lane. Traffic's backed up from the south split. Traffic is stop and go on 70 westbound from Emerson to the north split. 70 westbound from the south split to west, traffic is jammed up. And stop and go traffic on 65 southbound between 29th and Meridian. This report brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield's the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies today. It is going to be incredibly humid with showers and thunderstorms possible late this afternoon into the evening. Highs near 86. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! So like you heard Harrison Silcox mention at the top of the hour there, Vice President Kamala Harris was in wait a minute, what's the non-racist way to say her name? Because aren't you a racist if you say her name?
If you say Kamala, you're a racist, or maybe a wrestling fan. And if you say Kamala, you're a racist or a Tucker fan. I think you're just supposed to say Kamala. Border czar.
Border czar Kamala Harris was in Indy today, a keynote speaker at that social action convention downtown with the traditionally black sorority that, I've been seeing them for the past couple days walking around down here. Large presence down here.
And you heard a little bit from the news, and her message was about book banning today. Book banning.
Okay.
Really?
We're back to that old canard.
We're back to that? All the stuff happening in the world, all the stuff happening in the country, all the things happening here in Indiana. And this is the hill that you want to die on? And the angle she was playing was that these schools don't want to teach about slavery. No, that's not true at all. And as a matter of fact, Kamala, I'll give you $1. I've got $1 in my wallet right now. I was saving it for the vending machine, but if you're still in Indy, you can come by the radio station and pick it up. I'll give you $1 if you can come in here and tell me which book has been banned, and if it's been removed from a child's library, what was it about? What was in it? And if you can give me that information, this whole dollar bill will be yours. I'm a little upset that I didn't get a chance to stream the speech, Nige.
Yeah.
Because normally when Kamala Harris speaks, it's such a well-oiled machine. It's very thought out. In no way is there any sort of ridiculous type of answers or things of that nature. You know what? As a matter of fact, since we're all in the mood here, let's have the best of Kamala Harris.
Oh, please.
This is when the border czar, Kamala Harris, was comparing January 6th to Pearl Harbor and 9/11.
Certain dates echo throughout history, including dates that instantly remind all who have lived through them where they were and what they were doing when our democracy came under assault. Dates that occupy not only a place on our calendars, but a place in our collective memory. December 7th, 1941.
What an insult.
September 11th, 2001. And January 6th, 2021.
What a complete insult to the victims of Pearl Harbor and 9/11. Comparing January 6th to where the only person that died was a unarmed veteran that was shot at point blank range.
And the way that she speaks is so condescending. Like, she told this one astronaut story. Like, she's trying to be, like, she's speaking to a group of adults here, not a group of kindergartners. Listen to Kamala Harris talk about astronauts.
Bob and Doug returned to the Kennedy Space Center. They suited up. They waved to their families. And they rode an elevator up nearly 20 stories. They strapped in to their seats and waited as the tanks beneath them filled with tens of thousands of gallons of fuel. And then they launched. Yeah.
She's so boring.
You know what that reminded me of? And we've pointed this out before, but I think it bears repeating. If you've seen the movie Billy Madison, Mrs. Lippy, who's reading the story, The Puppy Who Lost Its Way.
Which brings me to May 30th, 2020. One fine morning. Bob and Doug returned to the Kennedy Space Center.
A puppy popped his puppy paws out of his puppy house.
They suited up. They waved to their families. And they rode an elevator up nearly 20 stories.
This was no ordinary puppy. This puppy was the happiest puppy in the whole world.
They strapped in to their seats and waited as the tanks beneath them filled with tens of thousands of gallons of fuel.
They gave Happy a kiss on his wet little puppy nose.
And then they launched. Yeah, they did.
The end.
It's the same story. It's the same cadence, right?
It's the same person, the same mentality.
And last but certainly not least, let's do a little word salad montage of Kamala Harris in honor of her visit today.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree. I am here, standing here on the northern flank, on the eastern flank, talking about what we have in terms of the eastern flank and our NATO allies.
What?
It is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia is a powerful country. Russia decided to invade
Look
a
at
smaller
Allison's
country
face.
called Ukraine. So basically that's wrong.
We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. We must together work together to see where we are headed, where we are going, and our vision for where we should be, but also see it as a moment, yes, to together address the challenges based on what we've just been able to see. And because we've seen it or not doesn't mean it hasn't happened, but just limited to what we have seen.
Put me out of my misery.
Fine.
The borders are?
You want me to put you out of your misery?
Yes.
I can do that.
Please.
Let's check in with wheeling, dealing, hair sniffing, kiss stealing Joe Biden.
I got hairy legs.
Happy birthday, dear Violet. Katanji drowned Jackson.
He gave right up on that last clip of pronouncing the Supreme Court justice's name. Just gave up. Just forget about it. Katanji Jackson.
Did I catch a drown in there somewhere? Speaking in Philadelphia earlier today, Joe Biden says inflation is at the lowest point in 2 years.
It's the lowest point, inflation, the lowest point in over 2 years.
Yeah, but under your watch, it also got to the highest. So the real reality here, if you want to do fact check type of stuff, is that since Joe Biden took office, prices are up 16.6%, and inflation still much higher than the Fed's target rate. So maybe you pump the brakes a little bit on that victory tour.
You know, I just noticed I filled up the other day. Gas is still pretty high. Gas sucks. It wasn't where it was, $5 a gallon, but it's higher than it was before Biden took office, for sure. I mean, they emptied out the strategic oil reserves, the petroleum reserves, and it's going to take decades for them to refill that thing because he wanted to lower gas prices. Well, hope you enjoyed that 2 weeks where gas was 50 cents cheaper.
During the midterms, mind you.
Yeah.
Yes. Good thing for you, Nige, is that according to Joe Biden, wage is up for workers.
At the same time, pay for low-wage workers has gone up at a faster pace than over 2 decades. Wages are growing faster than inflation.
That's completely wrong. That's a total lie. That's completely false. Wages are down 3% since Biden took office, and real wages have been down every single month since the stimulus plan about 24 months ago. And then this was my favorite part of the speech where Joe Biden, he's really trying to be passionate. He wants everybody to know he's not old. He's not senile. He's still got his fastball. Here he is talking about the middle class.
The middle class was built by the middle class.
Middle class was built by the middle class. Can I hear that one more time, please, Allison?
The middle class was built by the middle class.
Okay, thank you very much.
And then afterwards, you see they started playing Hail to the Chief after the speech was over, and he had no clue how to get off that stage. Biden has never been on a stage that he knew how to get off of. He just looked around for at least 30 seconds for somebody to tell him where to go.
You would think his staff members at this point, you have to do two things, right? Make sure there's nothing on the teleprompter he's going to read out loud, and tell him how to get off the stage. Those are the two things that you have to do, but nobody ever gets it right.
End of quote. Repeat the line.
Alan Green is filling in for Matt Baer.
70 westbound still jammed up Emerson to the north split, but that earlier accident is cleared. 465 westbound stop and go from 74 to 65. Southbound 465 is heavy 71st to 56, and 65 southbound from 29th to Meridian traffic is jamming up. This report brought to you by Anthem, Blue Cross, and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is a trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Keeping an eye on the radar. Got some storms popping up. If they get to the WIBC listening area, we will let you know. There is a severe thunderstorm watch, just a watch, in effect until 11 o'clock. Right now, 87 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Is this anything? Next.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and summer's hit us like a freight train, and believe it or not, it's a great time to clean your carpets. Why? Well, it's because your carpets are the largest air filter in your home and can hold 4 times their weight in dirt. Say what? With summertime allergies kicking in, it's time to clean them up, especially with this great deal from Zero Res. Right now at Zero Res, you get 3 rooms of carpet clean for $139, plus a free hallway and $50 off air duct cleaning too. Nobody but Zero Res has the patented electrolyzed ZR water. No soap, no harsh chemicals, no residue to attract more dirt. They can even clean your ductwork to help you breathe easier. Duct cleaning improves the air quality in your home as well as the efficiency of your HVAC equipment and reducing energy costs. Call Zero Res today and mention WIBC. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $139, and they'll give you a free hallway and $50 off air duct cleaning too. For a smarter, lasting clean and really easy scheduling, call 388-5141 or visit ZeroResIndy.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Life is all about enjoying the little moments. Don't miss out on them because of unexpected heart issues. At Community Health Network, you receive heart care you can trust. From simple screenings to life-saving diagnostic and interventional cardiology services, we offer it all, so you can get back to the moments that matter. Learn more about our services at ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care simply delivered.
4 races, 3 days. The stars of NASCAR and IndyCar return for Brickyard Weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Friday, August 11th, the next generation of Indy Next by Firestone takes to the road course. Saturday features the NTT IndyCar Series Gallagher Grand Prix, followed by the NASCAR Xfinity Series Pennzoil 150 presented by Advance Auto Parts. Then Sunday the 13th, the NASCAR Cup Series takes on the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard. Power, speed, precision, and family friendly. Kids under 15 get in free. Tickets at IMS.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
Hey, I'm Pastor Micah Beckwith.
And I'm Pastor Nathan Peternell.
Are you tired of a woke culture?
What do you mean by that, Micah?
Woke is defined as anti-American, pro-Marxist, ideological indoctrination.
Yeah, I don't want any of that.
Well, you know, at Life Church, we are the church where
woke goes to die.
So if you want a church that's going to preach the word of God boldly and unapologetically,
then you want to come to Life Church. We got 4 locations all around the city. Go to lifechurchin.com.
Hello. This is a message from Congresswoman Victoria Sparks. Please join us for a town hall and milkshakes with the Congresswoman at the Farm Bureau Milkshake Tent at the Hamilton County Fair, located on 2003 Pleasant Street in Noblesville, on Saturday, July 22nd from 1 till 2 p.m. Call 317-848-0201 if you have any questions. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
By listening to WIBC, you'll learn how to create a secure income plan that is sustainable throughout retirement from Crown Haven Wealth Advisors. Tune into WIBC this Sunday from 9 to 10 p.m.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Hammer, how do we play Is This Anything?
I am going to run a couple different stories by you. You break down all the information. You tell us if the story is anything or not. Is this anything? Some gray-haired Karen was upset that her neighbors were having a party, so she did what any rational older woman would do. She stormed out to the street, started kicking a car. Then she went to the house, kicked the front door, and punched a window screen. And oh, by the way, the party was happening in the middle of the daytime.
She just kicked the car.
This party is illegal.
It is not.
It's illegal in
I'm having friends over.
That's bull.
And you're kicking my door.
That's
You're
bull.
crazy.
That's bull.
Nice. I'm going to sue you for the damages there, too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's something that's awful. I always hear these things and I think, thank God I have the neighbors I have, because I don't have problems like maybe you do, for instance, Hammer, or some of these other pieces of audio that we've played. I couldn't imagine anybody. She was kicking the guy's door.
Yeah, freaking
the car
out.
door,
totally melting down.
And the party was in the middle of the day.
Right. This wasn't like it was 1 o'clock in the morning or anything.
Okay, what Ring doorbell audio was better? That, the gray-haired Karen upset at her neighbors for having a party in the middle of the day, or this Ring doorbell footage that caught a Jimmy John's delivery guy urinating right outside their front door. They asked him about it. He admitted it, and then he handed the food over like it was nothing.
Hello, man. Sir. You got me? Yeah, I peed on myself. Huh? Yeah, I peed on myself.
Did you hear that?
Did he say he peed on himself?
Listen.
Hello, sir. Peed on me? Yeah, I peed on myself.
Oh.
Yeah, I peed on myself.
I peed on myself. Here's your turkey, Tom.
No. Keep the turkey, Tom.
Which ring doorbell was better?
Hello, sir. Peed on me? Yeah, I peed on myself. Huh? Yeah, I peed on myself.
I don't know. I'm going with the Karen, though. The Karen lady, though, in the middle of the daytime, kicking somebody's door and car and trying to smash a window.
I know.
Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Is this anything? A new food hack has people ordering their drive-through French fries in a cup so it can easily go in your car's cup holder as you drive and have nice, easy access to the fries.
Could I do a large fry, but could I get it in a large cup, please? Awesome, thank you. It'll go right in the cup holder. Perfect right there.
Oh, yeah, you're a real Einstein, dude. He's the next Bill Gates. You order French fries and put them in a cup so they'll fit in the cup holder in your car. You should apply at SpaceX.
You seem pretty negative against this. I think I'm
the kind of
on board with it, actually.
I'm just saying that's the kind of content we get on TikTok. Hey, you order some French fries. I order them in a cup. Yeah, a real genius.
I'm not mad at the guy. You can be salty all you want. I'm not
mad at it. I'm just like, is that some big discovery? That's it, you know.
Well, maybe it is. I don't know if many people do that. Let's be honest. We all eat fries. If you get some, you've probably had some when you've driven, and now it sits right there next to the drink. You got your fries there. It's a lot easier.
This guy's really smart. I'm not. He's right up there with Oppenheimer and Elon Musk.
Is this anything? A Massachusetts woman who doesn't drive anymore but loves mowing her lawn bought herself a John Deere mower for her 97th birthday.
Oh.
Here the old bag is talking about the mower.
Jeez. I'm on that tractor every day, whether the grass needs cutting or not. I go around and check, and when I see it, I cut it. The yard keeps me busy. I don't like to do housework. I had the push mower, but I was a younger girl. I could push that. But now, forget it. I've always owned a John Deere.
I'm with her. I used to love mowing the grass when I was a kid. We had a riding lawnmower though. Pushing sucks.
Yes.
Ever since I've been a homeowner, I've had a push mower. Past few years, we hire out because I just don't have room in my garage for either a riding lawnmower, much less a push mower. And I used to love it back in the day. We had like a zero turn. I'd go out there and just ride it for fun when I went over to my dad's on the weekends.
Yeah, there was a video, I think it was Vince Gill, where he got into a fight with the old lady. She took his car keys, but he had his old John Deere and was driving down the bar to go meet up with his buddies.
What?
Yes, it's an old country music song from Vince Gill.
Oh, okay. John Deere Green, of course, a classic.
Yes, the late, great Joe Diffie, if I'm not mistaken. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
My energy efficient Window Nation windows save me tons on energy bills. They added value to my house. And look, if you're thinking about new windows and you've got those cracked, drafty windows that are letting the hot air through, time is now to call Window Nation. You can save thousands today. No money down, no payments, no interest for 2 years. Plus, they're going to give you 2 free windows with every 2 you buy. That's an exclusive deal only from Window Nation.
How about this for a deal? Check this out. 0, 0, 0. 0 money down. 0 payments, 0 interest for 2 years. And that is on top of the existing deal where you buy 2 windows and you get 2 for free. And there's no limit, and you can pick any style that you want. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
This is it. The final days, the final hours of Diamonds Direct's Midsummer Store-Wide Savings Event. Time is running out on this incredible buying opportunity. You have until Saturday at 6 p.m. to shop in-store and get 20% savings on virtually everything. Exclusive trunk shows all weekend with world-renowned designers in-store. Save an extra 20% off rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, even engagement ring mountings. Don't miss this once-a-year store-wide event. Hurry, sale ends Saturday. Get all the details now at DiamondsDirect.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What to be prepared for. Cloudy at 88 downtown. Rain is not here yet, but you can see it to the west on a radar. Marion County and the surrounding counties are all under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. You've got a low of 64 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 429. You've been hearing about severe weather today, but what can you expect?
From a severe weather standpoint, though, some of the storms might be intense enough to produce some at least strong winds, if not damaging winds, and even a few of the storms could produce some hail as well, so we'll have to watch for that.
An isolated tornado is also possible, says Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service. The vice president stopped by Indianapolis today and spoke about Indiana's new law on abortion. Sam Fritz reports.
Vice President Kamala Harris spoke at the Delta Sigma Theta conference in Indianapolis on Thursday. In her speech, the vice president touched on a variety of topics. Perhaps most passionately, she spoke about her feelings regarding states' actions following the overturning of Roe v. Wade, including Indiana.
Extremist leaders in states across our nation, states like Indiana, have passed laws that criminalize doctors and punish women.
This was in response to the Indiana State Legislature passing a near-total abortion ban earlier this year. Sam Fritz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Bidenomics is being promoted in Philly today.
A lot of my friends in organized labor know when I think climate, I think jobs. I think union jobs, not a joke.
President Biden toured the Philly shipyard today, where union workers are building a ship that will be used to install and maintain offshore wind turbines. If the colors of black and blue make you think of Indiana Knights, you'll be a big fan of the Colts' new alternate uniforms. The night skies of the Hoosier State is what inspired a new blue heather jersey, and for the first time ever, a black helmet with the classic blue horseshoe slapped on both sides. You can see the jerseys in action when the Colts play the Browns in Indy October 22nd. Your stock report: the Dow up 163 to 35,225. The Nasdaq down by 294 to 14,063, and the S&P 500 down today by 30 to 4,534. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:31.
You have a kid on the way and you need more room. Let's sell house. Okay. But the traditional home selling process, that's the opposite of okay. That's awful. Matt Bear here. Hey, when these life-changing events happen, they're blessings, but also scary and way overwhelming, more than they should be. Open Door eliminates all of the hassles of the home selling process. No more showings, stagings, listings. Everything is done online. When I sold my house north of Kokomo, there were so many people involved. Someone always had to talk to someone, then someone else. It took forever. Open Door, you are in total control. Request an offer in minutes, receive an all-cash offer in days. You pick the closing day and sell on your schedule. There isn't always a perfect time to move, but Open Door can help anytime be a perfect time. Visit opendoor.com or download the Open Door app to get started. That's opendoor.com or download the Open Door app. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Incorporated, license 02061130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC and its other markets. Terms and conditions apply.
With traffic at 4:32, here's Alan Green.
Thank you, Harrison. 69 northbound at 82nd. A stall is the right lane block. Traffic is jamming back from 465. 70 westbound heavy from Emerson to the north split. 465 westbound backs up from 74 to 65. Southbound 465 jams from 71st to 56th. This report brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
The forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies today. It is going to be incredibly humid with showers and thunderstorms possible late this afternoon into the evening. Highs near 86. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Real quick, I just want to play this clip for you, Hammer, of Joe Rogan and his theory, his suggestion that Bill Clinton was blackmailed by Jeffrey Epstein. You remember the picture hanging up in Jeffrey Epstein's apartment in New York?
Creepy picture.
Very creepy picture of Bill Clinton. This was, an artist rendering. Right. Bill Clinton sitting on a couch wearing the Monica Lewinsky dress.
The blue dress.
The infamous blue dress with if you put a black light over it, you would see some
We know
stains.
the dress.
You know the dress, right? So Rogan's theory is that Clinton was being blackmailed, and that was, his way, Epstein's way of reminding Clinton that, hey, I got the goods on you.
Why do you think Epstein had that giant painting of Bill Clinton in a dress in his foyer?
Dude.
Do you know that picture?
Yeah.
That painting?
Epstein's taste in art was not great. Like, if you look at the shit.
That was great. That painting is like, I got you, bitch. That's what that is.
Oh, right.
You got a president who was on the flight logs 26 times with Epstein, and you got that guy in a dress in your house. I got you, bitch.
Interesting.
Some high-profile people, some rich, mega famous people got away with what, the next thing worse than murder is pedophilia. We've got Epstein's dead. We've got his pimp, the woman that procured the talent, so to speak.
Ghislaine
Maxwell behind bars. We have witness testimony of girls that were taken advantage of and abused. But you know what we don't have? The people that participated in whatever went down there on Pervert Island.
The people that actually had relations with underage people down in that island, they got away with it. Ghislaine Maxwell right now is locked up for sex trafficking to no one, if you think about it. And again, I'm not trying to take you down tinfoil hat avenue here, but
I like it.
James Comey's daughter, Lincoln Lyon James Comey's daughter, was the prosecutor in the case against Ghislaine Maxwell. Not the defense, but the prosecutor. And they requested that the list get sealed up. So I'm hoping if somebody that's a Republican wins the presidential race in 2024, whether that's Trump, whether that's DeSantis, whoever, unseal that and let's find out who these perverts are. If it's Republicans, I don't care. If it's Democrats, I don't care. If it's both of them, lock them up. Lock these horrible bastards up for as long as you can, because it's ridiculous that these people have gotten away with it so far. I take it that you did not win the Powerball last night, Nigel?
I didn't even buy a ticket. Why do you say that? Do you think I wouldn't come to work the next? First of all, if I won the lottery, nobody would know about it. I would remain anonymous. Now, you might, have your suspicions once I buy a 50,000 square foot mansion, but I'd be still coming to work. But I just wouldn't. I would not. I would be one of those anonymous people.
The winning Powerball ticket, $1.8 billion, was sold at a mini mart in Los Angeles. So one person was sold the ticket.
Wow. See?
Now, I didn't know this, but if you own the place where the winning ticket is sold, you get $1 million.
So the mini mart gets $1 million.
Yeah, the owner of that mini mart in LA got $1 million.
$1 billion.
What do you think would tick people off more, Nige, if you found out the winner of the Powerball, the $1 billion from Los Angeles, was either LeBron James, who's got a lot of money already, or OJ? What would tick people off more if you found out that they won the Powerball?
First of all, rich people, do rich people buy lottery tickets anymore? I don't think billionaires already buy lottery tickets, but OJ's, had his fair share of money problems, I'm sure.
Would that money go to the Goldman family?
Yes.
I don't know what the deal is. So maybe that would be a blessing if the juice won the Powerball. I'm going to play you a piece of audio here. Have you heard the LSU professor that is completely losing his mind on a voicemail to a Louisiana state senator? Have you heard this?
No.
So Louisiana state senator is a guy who goes by the name Big Mike. Mike Fessy is his name. He voted to override the governor in Louisiana on a bill that would ban child sex changes. So basically, the House of Louisiana, their state house, said, we're going to ban surgery for minors to change their sex. The governor said, veto. But much like Indiana, in Louisiana, the House can override the governor. And this was led by Big Mike. So he had the veto. They overrode the governor. No sex surgeries for minors are taking place in Louisiana. And this was the voicemail from an LSU professor named Marcus Venerable to State Senator Mike Fessy.
I just wanted to say congratulations to our state senator, Big Mike Fessy, and that f***ing moron voted to make things worse for people who are already suffering. You fat f***ing piece of shit. You did not produce any goddamn evidence to support the claims you made about people being harmed by transgender care. Yet we have tons of empirical evidence showing that it's an increased suicide risk when people don't get this care. So you big fat-headed motherfucker, I can't wait to read your name in the f***ing obituary. I will make a martini made from the tears of butthurt conservatives when we put your f***ing ass in the ground. You fat, useless piece of shit. I hope you have a terrible day. Yourself.
It's a well-thought-out, rational take from a college professor.
Oh, man, I love the liberal tears on this. Yeah, I'm kind of against kids getting sex change surgeries. I mean, if you want to, if after you're 18 years old, you want to get your crank lopped off, fine. But, you know, I don't care if the parents, it's not a parents' rights thing as far as I'm concerned, whether or not you want your kids to have. What if my parents decided they wanted my 11-year-old to drink alcohol? Well, it's the best thing. We really, as parents, we have a right to let our kid drink alcohol. No, they'd be arrested. They'd go to jail. Well, look, my 10-year-old says that he wants to be a girl, so we're going to have sex change operation. No, that should be illegal as well. That's disgusting. It's abhorrent.
But a college professor,
I know, yeah,
whose number was traced after the senator had the authorities check it out.
Yeah, there was an veiled death threat in there, if I'm not mistaken. I hope to see your name in the obituary soon or something like that, right?
Imagine paying so much money to send your kid to LSU. You're getting the full experience, right? Fun football games. You got a good baseball team, a crazy campus. People like to party. It's the SEC. But then you find out you get stuck with Professor Venerable, and he melts down all the time. And this brings us to great moments in angry voicemail history.
Wow.
Remember when the pro-life center got burned to the ground by angry leftists? This was after the overturning, basically, of Roe.
Yeah, sure. The DOJ really didn't care much about those instances at all.
No, these were the voicemails that came out after the pro-life center was torched and burnt to the ground.
Hi, I'm calling because I read about the fire in your building, and I'm calling because I'm curious if it was arson or rather the good Lord showing you an example of hell and where you belong for being such a misogynistic bitch. Thanks for basically going out there daily and making sure that women can't have control over their own bodies. And I'm so thankful that the good Lord finally took action on people like you.
You're going to burn as well. You're all going to burn. Yeah, just learn about you ignorant, simplistic, racist scum that set the fire. And whoever set that fire is a true American patriot. You people are just utter filth of the planet. And it's too bad your whore mothers didn't abort each and every last one of you.
Oh.
Hopefully you all get cancer, suffer immensely, and are dead before the end of the year. For the betterment of all of humanity, you self-absorbed waste of human scum and filth. Burn, little Jesus freaks. Burn, burn, burn.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. These bombings and these Molotov cocktails and the vandalism of these crisis pregnancy centers around the country after Roe v. Wade just doesn't make any sense. I don't think they understand what these centers do. They help confused girls try to decide what to do and how to move on and give them options and say, hey, look, you know, this is you do what you want here, but they're helping pregnant women.
I think it's cute. You're trying to rationalize.
I know, with this death cult
to these lunatics. Yeah. Great moments in angry voicemail history. This was a crazy story from Alaska where a popular news anchor found out that her boyfriend was cheating on her and left this voicemail.
Ethan, it's Maria Athens from Fox ABC, CW, Newsnet, National Alaska. I just learned through my Emmy Award-winning journalism, you're also a pedophile and like little girls and children. And there's a website. I'm so f***ing exposing you. I'm going to get an Emmy. So you either turn yourself in, kill yourself, or do what you need to do. I will personally kill you and Mark Kimmel, my damn self, you Jewish piece of living f***ing shit. You have met your match, mother. You have met your mother match. I can't believe I am such a good person and thought I loved you. I don't even hate you. I will pray for your Zionist ass, you piece of shit loser. And I'm putting this on the news tonight. Bye. Have a great Friday, you mother.
Did I hear a Jew blast in there as well?
I think you heard a couple of them in there, to be honest.
That was a news anchor?
Yes. She was let go shortly thereafter.
Bravo.
Great moments in angry voicemail history. It's one of our favorites on the Hammer and Nigel show. The guy from Texas who was ticked off that Jimmy Dean stopped making the big size of the sausage.
And you got 3 men that weigh over 200 pounds apiece, a woman that's a little plump, and a daughter who's 13, and you're going to try to take a 12-ounce roll of sausage and feed that, it ain't going to work. And as far as your 16-ounce in maple and sage, I don't eat that. I'm not from the north. I'm a Texas man, and I'm not going to buy 2 of those 12-ounce packages just because you want to downsize and charge the same goddamn price. Son of a somebody needs their ass kicked.
That's a hell of a way to end a vicious voicemail. I used to do this bit. Oh, man, I'm going to have to go back in the archives. And when I was doing afternoons on this radio signal back in the early 2000s when it was Radio Now 93.1, I had a segment called Vicious Voicemails.
Oh.
And what I do is I'd have callers call me with their telephone number, and then I could get into their voicemail. They'd give me the code to get into their voicemail, and I say, look, if you have a jilted lover, if you have a psycho ex-wife or husband or a boss that left you a crazy, vicious voicemail, I want to hear it. I'm going to play it on the air. I would have tons of calls every day.
We need to bring that back.
So let me, I'll figure out a way. At least we could get going with some archival audio. I know I have a ton of those.
That sounds like a good time. Yeah, let's see if you can find those and let's bring it back.
The only thing my boss made me do is modify the audio of the voicemail, the person that's leaving the voicemail, right? So we don't kind of know who they are and people don't recognize their voice.
Oh, hell, we could have Alvin redo them.
Right, of course.
All right, last one here.
Another one?
But certainly not least, great moments in angry voicemail history. This is a ticked off Hammer and Nigel listener.
Quit spewing bullshit, untruth, crap. They're the reason that you work in Indianapolis, a low market, piddly little town, man. Because you don't have any brains or talent. Your partner's from Lisbon? Wow. He's got a good world view. Sometimes I think you f***ing losers have never left this state. Oh, my God. Nigel and Hammer Show. Is this anything? You guys are f***ing losers, man. Go f*** yourselves.
Yeah. Great moments in angry voicemail history. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Did you know 96% of Americans, 96% forfeit $111,000 in Social Security income?
That sounds like a lot of people losing a lot of money.
Yeah, well, it's true. But you can learn how you can avoid this with the free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. You know, we trust Bill. We're clients of his, and he knows Social Security like the back of his hand.
This free analysis pinpoints exactly when you should file for Social Security. Security while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved at least $200,000 for retirement and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912.
Save yourself a ton of time and don't lose a dime in Social Security income. Schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
Yeah, I love B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Drains. They're the ones that installed my American Standard air conditioner, and I haven't had a problem with it at all. Hammer has more about our friends. They're located over in Speedway.
B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Drains in Speedway. Ask B&W about their Premier Club. Premier Club members get a visit from a B&W member in the spring and the fall, where they check all of your electrical connections, voltage and amps on the AC and furnace, your gas pressure on your gas furnace, check the airflow, and they leave extra filters so you can change it yourself the next season. I'm telling you, this is a great value. Visit bplusw.com. That's B plus the word plusw.com, or just give them a call, 243-3581. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Hubler has all the top brands: Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Acura, Honda, Mazda, Nissan, and more. And every new vehicle includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Looking to sell your vehicle? We'll pay you top dollar, even if you don't buy ours. Take it from Brooke Hubler.
You can get a car anywhere, but you can only get a warranty like this at Hubler. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Visit drivehubler.com.
Hubler has it all.
Warranty available on new vehicles except certain models, not transferable or available on leases. Copy of the warranty is available for review at the dealership.
Hi, this is Denny Smith, and summertime's a great time to upgrade your water equipment, and C&J Water has some great upgrade specials right now. Upgrade to a twin tank softener and get a free reverse osmosis drinking water unit. Right now, you can also save 15% on any water quality equipment at C&J. Ultraviolet systems, iron and sediment systems, single tank softeners, and reverse osmosis units. Such a deal. C&J really does install the best of the best. So call C&J for yours today. Call 317-733-SOFT or cnjwater.com.
What is 988? It's a way forward. It's a listening ear. It's whatever help you need, when you need it. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline offers trained crisis specialists, ready to talk to you 24/7. If you or someone you love is experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis in their life, call or text 988. Want more information? Visit 988indiana.org.
All right, Alan Green, what's going on?
Well, 69 northbound at 82nd, we have a stall blocking the right lane. Traffic's backed up from 465. 465 northbound is heavy from Washington all the way up to 69. Eastbound 465 heavy Keystone to 69. And westbound 465 from 74 to 65, traffic is jamming up. This report brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Looking at the radar, got some pockets of action not too far from Nige country in Liston. Got a little action on the radar. Lebanon, Advance, New Ross. Those are some of the areas that I see. Big line of nasty coming from Terre Haute, getting closer and closer to Central Indy. We will certainly keep you up to date on that.
Your radio partners from Liston. Great worldview.
And I remember getting that voicemail. It came from a Fort Wayne area code. 86 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Okay, I have not clicked on this email from our boss, David, yet. The headline is Colts introduce new Indiana Knights alternate uniform for 2023. So a new Colts uniform.
Yes, sir.
Click on this here.
Tell me what you think.
Scroll down here. Oh, that's awesome.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, I do too. So inspired by the blue and black of the Indiana night skies, the new uniform features an unprecedented bold black helmet design and a first-of-its-kind blue heathered jersey.
I retweeted this earlier, so if you go to our Twitter feed and scroll all the way down, probably about 8 or 9 tweets down, you'll see the jerseys. And normally when teams roll out with these alternate or city uniforms, it's hit or miss. I actually kind of like these ones. I don't want to see them all the time. I like the classic white with the blue horseshoe, but for one game or maybe a couple of games, I think that's kind of cool.
The team will debut the new uniforms home game October 22nd against the Browns.
So are you on board with that?
Absolutely. Yeah,
I think it looks all right. Dateline, Florida. A woman in Florida was arrested after stealing a fire truck and trying to convince a police officer that she was indeed a volunteer firefighter. She was charged with grand theft and impersonating a firefighter, which I didn't know was a actual charge. This kind of reminds me of that one 911 call, and we've played this before, where this drunk woman, I think she was in Ohio, this call went viral because she drunk dialed 911 looking for a hot fireman.
Hello?
Hi, Port Clinton Police.
Yes, I need the fire department, please, because my is on fire. I need to make sure that hose is working.
Hello?
Is there hose working?
What is on fire?
I need the fire department because my is on fire, and I need somebody to come put it out with their hose.
Okay, I need the address.
Hangs up. Calls back.
Oh, no.
Hi, Port Clinton Police.
I'm at Courtney Lawley's house, and I need them to come put my out because it is on fire.
Where's Courtney Lawley live?
It's the Hammer and Nigel show. Top stories next.
Selling your car by yourself can lead to some strange encounters.
So how many bodies does this car hold? Bodies? It's a 5-passenger car. Right. Passengers.
Don't deal with selling it yourself. Come to WeBuyAnyCar.com instead. It's easy. You get in, get out, and get paid at a fair price.
I sell mannequins. Oh, what'd you think? Nothing. Nothing at all.
Get your free online valuation now at
WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Man, I love my brand new garage floor courtesy of Galaxy Concrete Coatings. Galaxy came in and put this coating on my garage, turned it into something brand new and beautiful. I spend a lot of time in the garage. I love the garage. The beer fridge is in the garage. I watch a lot of TV in the garage. And the floor is 4 times as stronger. It's totally easy to clean. If you have a gross, cracked, old, beat-up garage floor, call Galaxy. They will be in, finish it within a day. Trust me, you'll be happy. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com or give them a call, 751-9070.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, Florida, every day is a beach day. With 35 miles of sugar white sands and emerald green Gulf waters, it's no wonder why. Let's unwind under the sun on Clearwater Beach, ranked #1 beach in the South by USA Today readers. And then liven up the night at the Sound, a new outdoor waterfront concert venue featuring performances this summer by Peter Frampton, the Goo Goo Dolls, and more. Let's shine. Plan your getaway at visitstpeteclearwater.com.
Okay, next time you're at the store, I dare you to not think about the unmistakable fresh, clean scent of Irish Spring. Yeah, you heard me. I want you to resist picturing a shower filled with those sensational Irish Spring suds. And if you succeed, well, you got what my Gramps used to call resolutitude. Not a real word, but let's be honest, you're probably going to end up leaving with Irish Spring because of its irresistible scent and because you have zero resolutitude. Pick up Irish Spring today.
Hey, this is Spencer Thompson at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Now through Monday, save up to 50% plus extra discounts for cash, plus we pay your sales tax during the Made in the USA sale. Everything from Indiana-made Smith Brothers, Lazy Boy, patio furniture by Berlin Gardens and Pollywood, and save up to $500 on mattresses, including Tempur-Pedic. Now through Monday, save big only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus with free delivery.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis has been solving garage door problems for 33 years. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today.
I don't always black out when I'm drunk.
My kids can't tell that I'm high, so it's okay.
I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink in the morning.
I still have a job, so my drug use isn't a problem.
I can stop using whenever I want.
Don't ignore the signs of addiction. You don't have to wait until it's too late to get help. At Landmark Recovery, we're here to provide affordable and effective addiction treatment. Call 866-LANDMARK or visit landmarkrecovery.com to get help today.
This summer, keep your pet protected with Invisible Fence brand. This month only, save 50% on the installation of your system. Visit InvisibleFence.com to learn more and schedule your free consultation.
Coming up in 2 minutes, Sam Fritz reports of the vice president's time in Indy. One person killed in a shooting by the Indiana War Memorial, and what kind of weather you can expect after today's storms. That's all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Peterman Brothers Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Air raid sirens at a bridge to Russia. Lisa Brady, Fox News, just getting reports from Russian news agencies that the bridge linking Crimea to the Russian mainland is temporarily closed. The same bridge Russia accused Ukraine of attacking recently. Earlier today, the U.S. announcing new sanctions on Russia.
We're taking additional steps to hold Russia accountable for its illegal war against Ukraine.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby says they're targeting products, the financial system, and technology used in the war. 2 days after he crossed into North Korea, there's still a lack of communication about a U.S. soldier.
Because the U.S. and North Korea have not spoken, Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh says there are too many unknowns about Private Travis King.
We don't know his condition. We don't know where he's being held. We don't know the status of his health.
Secretary of the Army Christine Wormuth told the Aspen Security Forum it's too early to say whether he's a deserter or AWOL, but calling him a North Korean sympathizer may be premature.
I don't think people knew what was in his mind.
King was to be flown back to the United States after being jailed for assault, but slipped away from escorts at the airport before he crossed the border.
Fox's Gernal Scott, a lawyer for the wife of suspected Long Island serial killer Rex Heuermann, says the family was blindsided when police knocked on their door.
The lawyer representing the wife says police took their passports, phones, and computers, and all this comes as investigators are now collecting evidence at the family's home for a 7th straight day. Now, some of the stranger pieces of evidence to emerge include a portrait of a blonde woman with a battered face and bruising around her eyes, and a childlike doll in a glass case. The Suffolk County DA tells Fox investigators will take their time so they don't miss anything.
Fox's Nate Foy in Massapequa Park, New York. The prosecutor also dismissing reports that some of the killings may have happened inside the family home. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What she was doing back in Indy. Temps up to 90 degrees. Rain to the west is getting closer. Marion and the surrounding counties all under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. Low of about 64 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:02. Last summer, Vice President Kamala Harris was in Indianapolis talking to lawmakers about abortion rights. Sam Fritz reports she was back today.
In a speech to the members of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority on Thursday, Vice President Kamala Harris spoke about the organization's power, both historically and in the previous election.
You showed up and you helped elect Joe Biden president of the United States and me, the first black woman to ever serve as vice president of the United States.
The vice president's speech would note the accomplishments of this administration, including the investment of $7 billion in historically black colleges and universities and expanding postpartum care through Medicaid. Sam Fritz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
There was a fatal shooting in downtown Indy this morning right by the Indiana War Memorial.
Shortly before 7 o'clock a.m.,
IMPD officers were dispatched to North and Meridian area on a report of a person shot.
Lieutenant Shane Foley with IMPD says they got there to find a man dead. They spoke with witnesses and gathered enough info to detain another man at the scene. Foley says the investigation, though, is far from over. You've been hearing about severe weather today, but John Herrick reports on your weekend forecast.
You could be dealing with severe storms Thursday afternoon and evening, but on Friday across Indiana, the temperatures will cool down.
In fact, actually Friday it looks like we'll struggle to even get to 80 degrees. We've had several days that have been well up into the 80s, and it looks like we'll take a few degrees off the temperatures and the humidity, so it should be pretty pleasant on Friday, and it's not going to be overly windy or anything.
Randy Bowers with the National Weather Service says you might also see some light rain showers this weekend, but it's unlikely that any strong or severe storms will occur in Indiana. John Herrick, 93, WIBC Mobile News.
If you think gas prices are too high, they're at least down $1 from where they were a year ago. Gas Buddy says the average for a gallon of regular today is $3.48. It's also 5 cents cheaper than what you were paying a month ago. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
The U.S. home price index is on the rise, and interest rates are stabilizing. The market is turning more seller-friendly. If you've been waiting, now may be the best time to sell your home. Find out what the agent I recommend, Mark Dietl. Perhaps you're worried about settling for less money with a low-ball instant offer. Mark Dietl guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Rich and Cindy in Greenwood had to say about working with Mark Dietl. It was time to move into a place that could give us a little daily help. We hired the Mark Dietl team, and they closed on our old place in 1 week with a cash offer. The whole process was easy and professional, and we came away with the money we needed for our next phase in life. Call for all the details. Call the agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietl at 317-755-4232 or go online to markdietl.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
With traffic at 5:05, here's Alan Green.
Thanks, Harrison. 465 westbound is solid between 74 and 65. Southbound 465 is stopped between 71st and 65. 65 southbound delays from 21st to the north split. Northbound it backs up from 465 right up to the south split. And 69 northbound is heavy from 465 to 82nd from an earlier stall. This report brought to you by Comcast Business. Is it possible to protect your small business from big cyber threats? It is, with the help of advanced security from Comcast Business. Restrictions apply, requires Comcast Business Internet, leased router, and Security Edge. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
This afternoon and early evening, we're going to be tracking some severe thunderstorms through the state. The highest risk is going to be for some heavy winds and large hail. As we move into tonight's forecast, we'll calm things down around midnight with a low temperature near 64. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on The Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
Old man Grassley. Senator Chuck Grassley, Iowa, right?
Yes.
He's got to be late 80s.
I was going to say 114.
But he's doing some good work in this Hunter Biden, / Biden crime family thing. Him and is it Comer that are leading this charge, this oversight committee? It just released this FBI bombshell. This informant from the FBI, this file that describes a $10 million bribery allegation against President Biden and his son, Hunter. Just released it today. Basically says, showing that a Ukrainian oligarch claimed that he was coerced into making this $10 million payment.
And it's out there for anyone to read. I think we retweeted it earlier today. Scroll through our Twitter feed, you can find it. But if you have any sort of social media, you can find this. It's an FD 1023 form in which Chuck Grassley acquired via legally protected and disclosed sources from the Justice Department whistleblowers. This is according to Grassley's office here. Now, some of the stuff involved here is what we knew already, but now you can officially see it in its official form process.
It basically says the owner of Burisma that gas company that Hunter was on board with told the FBI informant in 2016, they were at some coffee shop in Vienna, that it, quote, will cost $5 million to pay one Biden and $5 million to pay another Biden.
That's pretty damning. But the thing is, and we played audio earlier of the testimony taking place on censorship. We played the audio yesterday of the IRS whistleblowers. Hell, Old Man Grassley released the document for everyone to read and for everyone to see earlier today. You know what's going to happen next? Nothing.
You know what? I mean, it's on tape. We have audio of Joe Biden when he was vice president saying that he was going to fire the Ukraine prosecutor that was investigating Burisma Holdings. And you know what? They fired him.
And he was bragging about it.
He was bragging about it.
Big guy doing big guy things. But as we've said, it's fun to talk about this stuff. We've got great audio of zingers and one-liners and heat. But until the Republicans start putting people in jail, start passing out some indictments, start sending people to jail for lying under oath and perjury, all of this is just theater. All of this is just political theater. I like what Comer and Grassley are doing. I really do. I'm not trying to be a wet blanket here, but look at all of the stuff they've got on the Bidens. How many indictments and how many people are in jail and all this kind of stuff? Very little. So I don't have my hopes high that this is going to lead to anything. The Republicans have to not only have the hearings, but they have to have the action after the hearings.
Joe Biden has publicly said that he used $1 billion in U.S. loan guarantees as leverage to force that prosecutor looking into Burisma out of office, which happened in March of 2016. Quote, well, son of a bee, he got fired. This was Biden bragging at some event hosted by the Council on Foreign Relations. and now we're hearing that the owner of Burisma is, $5 million to one Biden, 5 to the other.
Grandkids are getting payments from overseas oligarchs. Grandkids. There's some money funneling going on. You've got the paper trail. You've got things on video. You've now got this file. Do something with it. But I've got very little faith that anything will be done.
I remember when somebody asked him about that bribery accusation, Biden laughed it off and goes, where's the money? Well, the money is in your grandkids' accounts.
Right.
It's been laundered and washed. That's, like 22 different LLCs or something like that.
Right.
A web of LLCs for companies that don't do anything other than the fact that they are shells to launder money. Yeah.
His brother was getting money. Hunter was getting money. Daughter-in-laws were getting money.
For what? For influence and access. Biden was in charge of the Ukraine policy when he was vice president.
Earlier today, more action in Capitol Hill. Been a busy couple days of hearings. Today was the censorship hearing by the Weaponization Committee. And Robert Kennedy Jr., RFK Jr., he was there. He claims that he's been censored by big tech. Well, you can't make this kind of stuff up. You really can't. You can only just laugh and shrug your shoulders here because today's hearing on big tech censorship and politicians being canceled kind of got going when Debbie Wasserman Schultz wanted to basically censor and cancel RFK Jr.
Point of order, pursuant to House Rule 11, Clause 2, which Mr. Kennedy is violative of, I move that we move into executive session because Mr. Kennedy has repeatedly made despicable anti-Semitic and anti-Asian comments as recently as last week. Mr. Chairman, I ask for a roll call vote on the motion to table.
So, yes, they were trying to censor a hearing where the Democrats were denying big tech censorship and collusion. Here's Thomas Massey of Kentucky.
Wow. The irony and cognitive dissonance from the other side of the aisle, it's deafening. You could cut it with a knife. They are at the same time denying that censorship is occurring, but suggesting that there's more material that needs to be censored. This is a hearing on censorship. that began with an effort, with a formal motion from the other side of the aisle to censor Mr. Kennedy. They do not want him to speak. Yet that is the topic of this hearing. They have kept him from speaking. A collusion between the government and private organizations.
What Debbie Wasserman Schultz did was the equivalent of going to an AA meeting, standing up, popping open a bottle and going, let's get this party started. I mean, you can't make this kind of stuff up. And our pal Emma Jo Morris, who originally worked for the New York Post, she broke that story, the laptop from hell story with Hunter Biden. Now she works with Breitbart. She did a great job on the stand today as well. So if you want to go back and hear any of that, you can find all of those sound bites on your social media feed. All right, Matt Baer is out today. Alan Green is pinch hitting.
Hi, man. 465 westbound is jammed solid from 74 to 65. Southbound 465 from 71st to 65. Traffic is basically stopped. 65 southbound heavy from 21st to the north split. 65 northbound from 465 to the south split is backed up. And 69 northbound slows 465 to 82nd from an earlier stall. This report brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is a trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Looking at the radar here, we've got a little action down Interstate 70. Also, if you follow Road 40 all the way down toward Terre Haute area, Cloverdale, Brazil, you are seeing a little bit of action right now. If that gets close to the Indianapolis area, we will certainly let you know. Severe thunderstorm watch, just a watch for right now, in effect for Indy until 11 o'clock tonight. Right now, humid, hot, 87 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC.
Americans, 96% forfeit $111,000 in Social Security income.
That sounds like a lot of people losing a lot of money.
Yeah, well, it's true. But you can learn how you can avoid this with the free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. You know, we trust Bill. We're clients of his, and he knows Social Security like the back of his hand.
This free analysis pinpoints $1,000 for retirement you should file for Social Security, while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved at least $200,000 for retirement and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912.
Save yourself a ton of time and don't lose a dime in Social Security income. Schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
This is it. The final days, the final hours of Diamonds Direct's Midsummer Store-Wide Savings Event. Time is running out on this incredible buying opportunity. You have until Saturday at 6 p.m. to shop in-store and get 20% savings on virtually everything. Exclusive trunk shows all weekend with world-renowned designers in-store. Save an extra 20% off rings, earrings, bracelets, bands, even engagement ring mounting. Don't miss this once-a-year store-wide event. Hurry, sail in Saturday. Get all the details now at diamondsdirect.com.
4 races, 3 days.
The stars of NASCAR and IndyCar return for Brickyard Weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Friday, August 11th, the next generation of Indy Next by Firestone takes to the road course. Saturday features the NTT IndyCar Series Gallagher Grand Prix, followed by the NASCAR Xfinity Series Pennzoil 150 presented by Advance Auto Parts. Then Sunday the 13th, the NASCAR Cup Series takes on the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard.
Power, speed, precision.
And family friendly. Kids under 15 get in free. Tickets at IMS.com.
That's Mike saying good morning. It's the best he can do right now. Yeah, not a cloud in the sky. What Mike could use is a fresh start. And Irish Spring Body Wash. The fresh scent of Irish Spring and those sensational Irish Spring suds are just the reset Mike needs. Now he's ready
To go to work.
It's Sunday. Irish Spring. When the spring hits you, you're ready. Pick up Irish Spring today.
I'm attorney Darryl Isaacs, the Hammer. Have you been injured by a dog bite? Let us take on the big insurance companies, and we'll fight to get you the money you deserve. Go to WeWin.com for your free case evaluation. Just click and get help quick. Go to WeWin.com. That's WeWin.com.
Other concrete contractors often ask, how do you offer a warranty? And I tell them, build it just like it's your own. Deeper base, stronger and thicker concrete, rebar, anti-slip sealer, and caulk. Indy Decorative Concrete, changing the way Indy thinks about concrete.
Dreaming about the freedom of the open road? Your local Tire Barn warehouse is now a full-service location, offering high-quality Valvoline oil changes. Your vehicle will be ready for any adventure, whether it's a road trip or a day at the beach. All Valvoline oil changes include a free courtesy inspection of your vehicle's fluid levels, battery, brakes, steering and suspension, tire tread depth, and pressure. Tire Barn is now offering appointment-free Valvoline oil changes. Whatever your dreams are this summer, Tire Barn Warehouse is here to drive them. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Hammer Leah Thomas, the transgender swimmer who won the NCAA Division I Women's Championship in 22.
I think I saw some air quotes there.
Yeah, the Leah, of course, a man saying that he's transgender, still has a crank, showers with the girls in the locker room.
Defeated Riley Gaines.
Yes. Sparked a little bit of criticism.
More?
More criticism after she, again in quotes, was photographed wearing a T-shirt that promotes the left-wing anti-fascist group Antifa, which is a very violent, radical left-wing group.
Anti-fascist, okay.
Yeah, they're exactly the opposite, actually. The shirt read, Antifa Super Soldier. Are you okay with this?
No, because this is such a desperate plea for attention.
Yeah.
Somebody's 15 minutes of fame are probably around 14 minutes and 55 seconds at this point. So Leah Thomas is thinking, all right, how can I get back in the spotlight? Let's see, what can I do? Oh, I know. I'll wear an Antifa T-shirt. That'll stir the pot just a little bit. This is exactly what it is. It's like when Colin Kaepernick pops up every once in a while.
Yeah.
He realizes that his time in the spotlight is about over, so he'll come out with something controversial or crazy, and places like the Washington Post and the New York Times and the Atlantic, they will carry the water for it, but at the end of the day, it's just crying for attention. This is a big nothing burger, not okay with it.
Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood, they're married, right? They're a couple, huge country music superstars, and have been for years. Garth and Trisha want us to dig deep into our pockets and give to the Ukraine.
We stand with Ukraine, especially the refugees. There's a global initiative, and of course, supplies and aid is already spread thin. And this is where you come in. We need your help. We need you to donate.
Yeah, I mean, we always ask for love and prayers. Please keep doing that. We're also going to ask you, dig in your pockets, be part of the greatest global relief plan mankind has ever seen.
Everybody deserves dignity. Everybody deserves a roof over their head to feel safe. You can be a part of that.
Yeah, amen. So join us, won't you? Stand up for love.
Stand up for mankind.
Stand up for Ukraine.
I don't know about you. I think I've given a lot to Ukraine over the past year and a half. Are you okay with Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood telling us we need to dig deeper?
Nope. Can't do it. Not okay with that. If you, Garth and Trisha, who wake up every day and make more money in interest in your bank account than I'll ever have in my entire life, if you want to give it all to Zelensky, be my guest. But right now, we've sent quite a bit to Ukraine, and I got to be honest with you, I would like to see a receipt.
Yeah,
I'd like to see where the money's going. What is our money being used for? Is it humanitarian? Is it weapons? Or is our money getting sent back to the DNC here in the United States?
Oh.
There's a lot going on here, and we got a lot more things to deal with here at home. Now, if this is just for humanitarian aid...
Right.
Okay, but I think we're doing enough as taxpayers. We're sending billions over there. What they choose to do with the money, what Zelensky chooses to do with this money, that's his call. But I think we've donated enough, and I'm not keen on folks who are damn near billionaires, if not billionaires, upper echelon millionaires, telling me to dig a little bit deeper in my pockets.
Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood wake up every day farting through silk, but I need to do more. Okay, let's keep it in the country music world. This is so dumb. The libs, the progressives, are very upset over country music star Jason Aldean's latest song, and they want it to be taken off the airwaves. It kind of seems to have backfired. I'm talking about the song Try That in a Small Town, has reached number 1 on iTunes. Let's just listen to a little bit of it, and then we'll give you the update here.
Sucker punch somebody on a sidewalk, carjacking old lady at a red light, pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like, cuss out a cop, spit in his face, stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Well, try that in a small town.
So, okay, I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I mean, you get the essence of what the song is about.
Kind of ripping on the BLM riots.
Antifa riots.
During the Summer of Love. And another thing that the left is losing their mind over, they say that Jason Aldean filmed that video in a location where a high-profile lynching took place way back in the day. So there's different angles of why the left is completely losing their mind about this song.
And, of course, The View, Sonny Houston and Joy Behar is saying that the song is racist. Here they are.
This became the number 1 song on U.S. iTunes. We have a problem in this country about race, and the biggest problem is we refuse to admit that it exists.
Well, don't you think that a lot of this big city, small town businesses race is about race? The cities have more black people than the small towns.
Of course.
What are they talking about?
Did you catch that? At the very end there, when Joy Behar jumps in, she basically claims that people from small towns don't want to admit there's racism because there's not a lot of black people. So based on this logic from what The View is trying to put out here, Joy and Sonny are saying that Jason Aldean comes from a small town. There's not a lot of black people. Therefore, his view of race might be different.
Does she have any numbers to back that up? Does she know which town he's from? What is she talking about? If you are saying something like that is racist, or you are against in any way, shape, or form what Jason Aldean and the song stands for, then you were either complicit in the riots of 2020 or you participated in the riots of 2020. And you think the riots of 2020 were justified. That's what it comes down to.
I'm sure. And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, Nige. I'm sure Sonny and Joy and the Good Time Party girls at The View feel the same way when they hear rap lyrics that are pretty racist, when they hear Blank the Police from NWA, when Ice-T dropped Cop Killer. I'm sure they were just as outraged as this Jason Aldean song. And you said something earlier. Do they know where Aldean grew up? Do they have any facts? They don't. But I do. I dug into some numbers here, Nige.
Yeah.
Jason Aldean's hometown is Macon, Georgia. 54% black population to 39% white.
Oh, wow. That is hilarious. Again, further proof, as if you needed anything more, that the people on The View know nothing of what they're talking about.
And big picture here, look what's going on across this country right now. Look what they talk about on the national media. But then think about what we're doing as a country right now. So The Sound of Freedom, that movie, just hit $100 million at the box office.
Yeah, that cost $14 million to make. Very underrated movie about human trafficking that mainstream media is labeled like some sort of QAnon conspiracy.
So that's number 1. Oh, I'm sorry, it was at number 1. It's made $100 million at the box office. Try That in a Small Town, number 1 on iTunes. Bud Light and Target losing billions of dollars over woke crap they've been trying to shove down people's throats. Disney has lost $900 million on their last 8 releases because they've gone super progressive, super woke. I'm telling you, the silent majority is real. Despite what you hear on The View, the silent majority is real.
I see Rob Kendall doing push-ups out there shirtless.
He's putting on Ultimate Warrior face paint, so I assume it's time to go off the rails. Yeah. We will do that right after a look at the news.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What she had to say. 90 degrees, cloudy downtown with some rain to the west on radar. Marion County under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 p.m. Low temps of 64 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:28. Vice President Kamala Harris has a problem with book bans and what's being taught in some American classrooms.
Yesterday in the state of Florida, they decided middle school students will be taught that enslaved people benefited from slavery. They insult us in an attempt to gaslight us, and we will not stand for it.
Harris was the keynote speaker at the Social Action Luncheon for the Delta Sigma Theta Convention in Indianapolis, one of the largest historically black sororities in the country. She said extremists want to teach revisionist history. A fatal shooting downtown near the American Legion Mall. It was just before 7 this morning.
Upon arrival, they located an adult male with injuries consistent with a gunshot wound here in the park behind me. Unfortunately, the individual was determined to be deceased.
Lieutenant Shane Foley with IMPD says thanks to help from witnesses, Howard Moffitt was arrested and charged with a murder this afternoon. A state of emergency has been declared in Rocky Mount, North Carolina after it was hit by an EF3 tornado damaging a Pfizer facility.
After receiving an influx of calls on yesterday during the tornado, our police department has also returned to normal operations. We are currently providing traffic control at the intersection of North Wesleyan Boulevard that is near the Pfizer plant.
The city manager, Keith Rogers Jr., says they're working hard to fix up any of the damage. 16 people were hurt in the storm. The weather in Indiana should clear up for the weekend.
In fact, actually Friday, it looks like we will struggle to even get to 80 degrees. We've had several days that have been well up into the 80s, and it looks like we'll take a few degrees off the temperatures and the humidity, so it should be pretty pleasant on Friday, and it's not going to be overly windy or anything.
Randy Powers with the National Weather Service. He says there may not be rain chances again until Sunday. A handful of lucky Hoosiers went big on Powerball tickets Wednesday. A $1 million ticket was bought in Carmel. Someone else won $100,000, and 3 other tickets worth $50,000 were bought in Indiana. The average price for a gallon of gas in the state today, $3.48. That's according to GasBuddy.com, and 5 cents cheaper than a month ago. With traffic at 5:31, here's Alan Green.
465 westbound is solid from 74 to 65. Southbound 465 jammed from 71st into 65. 65 southbound backs up between 21st and the north split. Northbound it's heavy from 465 up to the south split. And 69 northbound is tight between 465 and 82nd. This report brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And a forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
This afternoon and early evening, we're going to be tracking some severe thunderstorms through the state. The highest risk is going to be for some heavy winds and large hail. As we move into tonight's forecast, we'll calm things down around midnight with a low temperature near 64. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Drew Narsutis for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
And now, Hammer and Nigel go off the rails with Rob Kendall.
Noise pollution.
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer is here. Also, Rob Kendall in studio from the Kendall and Casey Show. Here to go off the rails. Rob, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks, as always, to our segment sponsor, Garage Doors of Indianapolis.
Okay, so we've had about a week to sort of let the dust settle. I know you and Hammer were on the air last week when Sharif, the Republican running for mayor against Hogsett, released his public safety program, which kind of mirrors Joe Hogsett's plan in terms of gun control. Where are we at here a week later?
Well, look, he's obviously not put the plan forward that I would have put forward, which the fact that he put the gun component in, to me, is so disappointing because otherwise it's a pretty good plan. Like the public safety director's coming back. He's got plans to hire all these police officers.
Yeah.
He had a plan if you eliminate the gun aspect by which we would be able to go on this show and these very powerful airwaves and we'd be able to say, look at the difference, look at this, look at that. And instead the conversation, and rightfully so, becomes dominated not about the other things that are really good, but about this really ridiculous proposal on guns that he knows is not going to fly. And the worst part is it makes him no different than Hogsett, and he just hitches himself to Hogsett's wagon on this stupid proposal.
And it's a big deal. Like, I've heard people say, well, it's just one component of his deal. No, the Second Amendment is a pretty big thing, and it's not just the ridiculous plan that's never going to go anywhere anyway. The Indiana General Assembly is not going to approve any of this, no matter what insiders he claims he's spoken with. It represents a middle finger to people like us. If you live in Indianapolis and you're a law-abiding citizen and you have constitutional carry, you want to protect yourself, you want to protect your family, Jefferson Shreve thinks you're the problem. The fact that he rolled it out in the first place and he's campaigning on this makes me feel like he's blaming me for the problems in Indianapolis. And if you haven't been down to Indy, if you haven't been downtown to the canal, to the zoo area, to 38th Street, to Monument Circle, it's not law-abiding citizens with constitutional carry or the right to have an AR-15 that are the problem in the city.
Yeah, and I've struggled with this because, as you know, I think we all did really want him to win because the city cannot afford 4 more years of Joe Hogsett. I genuinely believe if Hogsett and Mears get 4 more years, this city is going to be even more unrecognizable than it is now. Now, look, we're going to give him his say when he comes in on Wednesday, and I think that's why he chose us. I would say this, I'm a complete a-hole and a villain as a commentator. I'm a pretty damn good interviewer, though, because I will ask the questions and I will allow him to say his piece. And we'll press him where he needs to be pressed, and we're going to point out the things that we think needed to be pointed out, but he's going to have a chance to make his case. And then once he's done, it's on him to make his case. I'm not going to carry water for the guy. I'm going to give him the opportunity to say his piece, find out why he did it, what he thinks it's going to accomplish, and explain why he thinks that people like you should be singled out. I mean, he's not singling you out, but law-abiding, tax-paying citizens
people
should be
like
part of the equation. Yeah. So, I mean, look, we respect he's going to come in, and we're going to ask the questions. I don't know what the answer is, though, because I don't think you're winnable at this point. I mean, and that sounds crazy. If I'd have said 2 weeks ago, Hammer would not be winnable for Jefferson Shreve. It's really offensive what he put forward, and I'm not sure that's registered yet.
So where did this come from? Where did this complete left turn out of nowhere? How did this happen? Is someone advising him? I told Hammer earlier, I thought it was that ridiculous attack ad that Hogsett put out on Shreve. You know, the one where it said,
sure,
Shreve he supports the Second Amendment. He is pro-life. He's a conservative, which, yeah, okay, that's virtuous if you're a Republican.
It's really easy to get caught up in campaigns listening to a lot of voices, and this is why. Look, we talked about when he became the nominee. He actually had the money to do the thing that he needed to do, which is to burn Joe Hogsett and Marion County Democrats to the ground.
Yes.
If you're going to go out, let's burn it all to the ground. Let's tell everybody where Joe Hogsett was during the riots.
And that's why I was on board early on. I was ready to put the Shreve sign in my yard. I was ready to say, hey, let's get this guy in office because, hell, if he's just sober and shows up, it's better than what we got the last 4 years.
Well, and just full disclosure, and they have asked me before my opinions on things. I've given them to them. As usual, most things have been ignored in the order in which it's received, and I told them, and I said it on the air, it's anything I haven't said publicly, you have the money to actually do the thing that needs to be done, which is you had to make this election an indictment on Joe Hogsett.
Right.
And you have given that ground up by this gun proposal. It would be a bad gun proposal if you'd just come up with it. It's an even worse one because Joe Hogsett came up with it. And look, time is running short on him to be able to explain his way out of it. And I hope he can do it next Wednesday. Again, we're totally going to give him the forum to do that because I don't think it has dawned on them how offensive it is to so many people and how many people. I think they think, well, these people just vote for us no matter what because they hate Hogsett.
Right.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
And it's telling to me that while I'm happy he's coming on your show next Wednesday, his first reaction to try to rescue this sinking ship was to run to the Indy Star, the super liberal, super left-leaning Indy Star, and then have your advisor, Mark Lubbers, famous for bringing down the Lugar campaign years ago, which that's pretty impressive. You brought down Lugar. Having this guy feud with Guy Relford and ripping on WIBC and basically making fun of the listeners of WIBC.
Yeah, look, I mean, our ratings bear out every month how many people love what we do. And they love what we do because we speak the truth and we are not Republican shills and we're not Republican stooge men. But it is easy when you live in that bubble to listen to the people who tell you must do A, B, and C, and that the people outside of what we tell you, well, they're Hill Jackson hillbillies and idiots in the minority. And it is, and I'm not saying this is what has happened, but I have a feeling that I call it getting their fangs into them, that the establishment wing, the Marion County GOP, these, you know who they are, the names, the faces, it's always the same people. They got their fangs into this guy and they gave him really bad advice and they're still giving him bad advice.
Last thing here on the media aspect of it. When you look at Jefferson Shreve's social media stuff, whether it's him, whether it's his campaign staff and advisors, look at the people liking their post. It's James Briggs, liberal writer from Axios, used to be a star writer. It's Adam Wren, self-admitted pencil neck, super liberal writer for Politico. When he's not outing victims of sexual assault, he's liking what's going on with the Jefferson Shreve campaign. That should tell you everything you need to know about who these people really are.
I've struggled with this because I think he's 80% better than Hogsett.
All right, let me stop you right there because I've heard you say that a number of different times. Would you say that Todd Young, the Duke of Spendingburg, is 80% better than Chuck Schumer? Because I kind of feel like that's a similar comparison.
No, absolutely.
80%
No, I don't think. If Todd Young were 80% better than Schumer, I probably wouldn't have a problem voting for him. No, I don't.
Have you saved enough?
Todd Young spends way more money than Chuck Schumer has, so no. But my point is, I'm about to come to your side. Give me a damn minute, because I think there are things in his proposal that are really good. However, if you're willing to virtue signal or pander or whatever the thing is on this, that should raise a red flag of what else are you willing to do that on? And if you can't be trusted on something that is this is so undoable what he's proposed, then if we can't count on you on everything else, then how do you count on anything? So I've struggled with this because as a Hoosier lifer, I know you are, I know Nigel is, we want this city to thrive. We know it won't thrive with Joe Hogsett, but Jefferson Shreve and this proposal, man, he's really put himself in a hole.
And by the way, it feels like there's a perception coming from his campaign that this is not really a big deal and we're making it out to be something that it's not, that not many people are paying attention to, which I don't think is the case.
No, I agree. They don't think. They think, here's what they think. They've not told me this, of course, but I am confident. They think that Hammer, at the end of the day, it's just like what look, Todd Young did it. Diego Morales did it last time, and they were right. They think Republicans at the end of the day fear Democrats so much, that conservatives fear Democrats so much that you'll huff and you'll puff and you'll badmouth. Now, they don't know you and they don't know what a terrible person you actually are. But at the end of the day, when it comes time to pull the lever, you and your wife and your boy who can vote are going to get in there and go out of fear, well, we can't have Hogsett, so we'll vote for him. I think they're dead wrong. I think they made a big mistake. I think this is a much bigger issue, but that would be where I guess they're at.
It'd be a shame if a local radio host who happens to have a #1 rated show would start a Write-In Abdul campaign. It'd be a shame if that happened, but maybe I'll consider that.
Well, look, he is making the smart choice. If you need your campaign saved, you come to Rob Kendall.
Can you stick around for one more break?
Absolutely.
We're going off the rails. That's Rob Kendall. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Have you saved enough? Do you have a plan for Social Security and taxes in retirement? Hey, Casey Weed of Howard Bailey Financial, where our mission is to help you gain clarity and purpose and elevate meaning in your life through personal and practical financial strategies. That's why we want to give you our Retire with Purpose Toolkit at no cost. In it, you'll find valuable information on minimizing taxes, maximizing Social Security, and building a retirement income you can't outlive. Plus, you'll receive a copy of my book, Job Optional. To get your complimentary toolkit, call or text the keyword INFO 42 to 866-482-9559. That's info 42 to 866-482-9559.
Howard Bailey Financial is the official wealth management partner of Notre Dame Athletics. Notre Dame Athletics was compensated for this endorsement and is not a current client of Howard Bailey. For more information, please visit howardbailey.com/ND disclosure. Investment advisory services may be offered through Howard Bailey Securities LLC, a registered investment advisor. Working with Howard Bailey Securities LLC cannot guarantee investment success or that specific financial goals will be achieved.
Yeah, I'm a longtime customer of Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. The Tempur-Pedic mattress they sold us changed our lives. I know Hammer just got a ton of new furniture from Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. And if you don't need a mattress, maybe you need a sofa, recliner, sectional, then this is your store offering the best prices on Lazy Boys, Indiana-made Smith Brothers. Everybody loves the Berlin Gardens outdoor furniture. They have the Big Green Egg, which is the world's best grill, at prices nobody can beat.
Owned and operated by the same awesome Hoosier family since 1927, Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. While everybody else is raising their prices, they still have free delivery and setup if you live within 75 miles of their store. They'll bring you the mattress. They'll take the old one back. They'll set the new one up. These guys are the best. ThompsonFurniture.net. Stop by. Be sure to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hubler has all the top brands: Chevy, Buick, GMC, Ford, Acura, Honda, Mazda, Nissan, and more. And every new vehicle includes a 10-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Looking to sell your vehicle? We'll pay you top dollar, even if you don't buy ours. Take it from Brooke Hubler.
You can get a car anywhere, but you can only get a warranty like this at Hubler. 10 years, 200,000 miles.
Visit drivehubler.com.
Hubler has it all.
Warranty available on new vehicles except certain models, not transferable or available on leases. Copy of the warranty is available for review at the dealership.
I don't always black out when I'm drunk.
My kids can't tell that I'm high, so it's okay.
I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink in the morning.
I still have a job, so my drug use isn't a problem.
I can stop using whenever I want.
Don't ignore the signs of addiction. You don't have to wait until it's too late to get help. At Landmark Recovery, we're here to provide affordable and effective addiction treatment. Call 866-LANDMARK or visit landmarkrecovery.com to get help today.
Hello, this is a message from Congresswoman Victoria Sparks. Please join us for a town hall and milkshakes with the Congresswoman at the Farm Bureau Milkshake Tent at the Hamilton County Fair, located on 2003 Pleasant Street in Noblesville, on Saturday, July 22nd from 1 till 2 p.m. Call 317-848-0201 if you have any questions. Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
This summer, keep your pet protected with Invisible Fence brand. This month only, save 50% on the installation of your system. Visit InvisibleFence.com to learn more and schedule your free consultation.
I'd rather be folding laundry.
This is gonna be fun.
Said no one ever. Also, no one enjoys wasting time in traffic. That's why we love saving you time. Matt Baird Traffic.
Backups are already starting.
On 93 WIBC.
Alan Green has a look at the roads.
465 southbound traffic is just stopped between 71st and 65. 465 westbound from 74 to 65 is jammed up. Southbound 65 hits the brakes from 29th to the north split. Northbound it's heavy from 465 to the south split. And 70 westbound from the south split to Harding traffic is stop and go. This report brought to you by Royal Spa. Everyone knows that soaking in Epsom salts can make you feel better. Now imagine soaking in Epsom salts in a Royal Spa hot tub. RoyalSpa.com. Royal Spa. I'm Alan Green. Follow us on Twitter for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
85 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back on the Hammer and Nigel show, we are going off the rails on this crazy train that is Rob Kendall. Rob, we've talked a lot about the mayor's race in Indianapolis. Governor's race, not quite getting as much attention locally, but we've had some action lately.
This is about to get juicy, and I love it because there's nothing that I love more than establishment on establishment violence, and we're about to get some because Brad Chambers, who is was the head of the IEDC, Economic Development Corporation, under Holcomb. He is the toady stooge in charge of strong-arming farmers into selling their farmland for sweetheart real estate deals for mega corporations like Eli Lilly. He is about to get in the race, at least that's the big rumor, and a little birdie who has been very, very accurate over the years inside of state government, inside of the state capitol, told me that once he gets in, Holcomb and Hupfer Incorporated, Eric Holcomb, Kyle Hupfer, and all the Oompa Loompas that do the bidding of those two awful people are about to get behind this guy, which means Holcomb will, in the vein of Stone Cold Steve Austin, be giving two giant middle fingers to his Lieutenant Governor Suzanne Crouch, who's also running.
I was going to say, that's his Lieutenant Governor. You think he'd put his weight behind her?
Which I love this so much because Silent Suzanne has been such a toady loser stooge for that guy for 7 years, through all the tax increases, through the mask mandate, through the business closures, through the Malik Muhammad meet and greet, calling people a human petri dish. She is sat right behind him like a seal and going, and now he's about to stab her in the back. She's getting exactly what she deserved. I love it.
Man, I can't wait to see the faces of Rod and Todd and the Good Time Party boys when Mike Braun walks in there as the winner. Oh, well, let's see here. You guys didn't support me from the beginning, but I had enough money to win this damn thing. Looks like there's a new sheriff in town.
Look, whoever wins is going to disappoint me and let me down. I've already accepted that. Mike Braun has already told people at these various county fairs, I'm not doing anything with property taxes. I don't care that you're hurting. Kiss my ass. He voted for the largest tax increase in state history, which is the gas tax. So I have no expectation for him. So I'm going to get my money's worth in this primary. And gosh darn it, this Chambers versus Suzanne fight for the establishment and watching Suzanne get screwed after screwing the taxpayers of this state for 7 years. Well, I'm going to get my money's worth.
But let's be honest. Your prediction is what for the outcome of the governor's race?
Well,
is it Braun's to lose when we're really being honest with each other?
I actually have no idea because when you got 6 people running, which you will if Chambers gets in, 20% could win you the governor's race. And look, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but a world exists where Curtis Hill could conceivably get to 20%. And boy, nothing would make me happier than seeing the look on Holcomb's face if Curtis Hill became the Republican nominee for governor.
We got less than a minute left here. You were whining earlier that because your dad duties are interfering now, you can't watch the British Open.
Since I was about 12 years old, one of my favorite things to do every year in July is get up at 1:30 on a Thursday morning and watch the opening tee shot of the British Open. I remember my dad as a kid, keep that television down, I gotta go to work in the morning. And so here, last night I told my wife, boy, I can't wait to get up 1:30 in the morning. I'm so excited. And she goes, yeah, huh. And 1:30, the alarm sounded, and I thought, I'm kind of tired. I'm going to, like Forrest Gump, I'm going to go back to bed now. And that's my life now. That's it. That's me going forward.
So what, the baby doesn't wake up at 1 o'clock in the morning? You can't watch it?
Look,
what's the schedule?
We have a rule in my house between the hours of midnight and 5. It's the wife's child.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
Wow, okay.
My God.
I take the other 19 hours of the day. Don't I do my part? I got to go to work.
You're at work part of the daytime. You're not at home taking care of the kid.
I'm asking how she's doing. Doesn't that count?
What's coming up on the show tomorrow?
Boy, I have absolutely no idea. We'll figure it out 9 to noon, but be sure to tune in because it's going to be awesome.
He's off the rails. He's Rob Kendall. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. Hammer, I've got a craving for a Cuban sandwich. Nobody does those better than Palavana Cubano. It's in the Garage Food Hall of the Bottle Works District. Delicious. Cuban sandwiches as big as your head. Great coffee, too.
And while you're there, check out Jay's Lobster and Fish Market.
Yeah.
It's right there. Have you had the lobster grilled cheese?
Yes.
Game changer.
I can't stop eating the lobster mac and cheese.
Absolute game changer. Stop by any one of these places. Make sure you tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family heating and air.
Hey, this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
In St. Pete, Clearwater, Florida, every day is a beach day. With 35 miles of sugar white sands and emerald green Gulf waters, it's no wonder why. Let's unwind under the sun on Clearwater Beach, ranked #1 beach in the South by USA Today readers. And then liven up the night at the Sound, a new outdoor waterfront concert venue featuring performances this summer by Peter Frampton, the Goo Goo Dolls, and more. Let's shine. Plan your getaway at visitstpeteclearwater.com.
Did you know 96% of Americans, 96% forfeit $111,000 in Social Security income?
That sounds like a lot of people losing a lot of money.
Yeah, well, it's true. But you can learn how you can avoid this with the free Social Security analysis from Bill Demery, your retirement guy in Indy. You know, we trust Bill. We're clients of his, and he knows Social Security like the back of his hand.
This free analysis pinpoints exactly when you should file for Social Security, while considering your taxes, spousal benefits, and Medicare premiums. If you've saved at least $200,000 for retirement and have not filed for Social Security, schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912.
Save yourself a ton of time and don't lose a dime in Social Security income. Schedule your free analysis by calling 317-932-9912. 317-932-9912.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Indiana Foundation Service. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at indianafoundation.com.
4 races, 3 days.
The stars of NASCAR and IndyCar return for Brickyard Weekend at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Friday, August 11th, the next generation of Indy Next by Firestone takes to the road course. Saturday features the NTT IndyCar Series Gallagher Grand Prix, followed by the NASCAR Xfinity Series Pennzoil 150 presented by Advance Auto Parts. Then Sunday the 13th, the NASCAR Cup Series takes on the Verizon 200 at the Brickyard.
Power, speed, precision.
And family friendly. Kids under 15 get in free. Tickets at ims.com.
I'm going to see Foreigner. Who? No, not the Who. Foreigner. Who? Foreigner. They've got as many hits as Fleetwood Mac and Modern Journey. Listen. And you're as cold as ice. As well as. And your missus are going to love.
Foreigner with special guest Loverboy tomorrow night. Ruoff Music Center. Reserve seats on sale now at livenation.com. Part of the Coors Light concert series.
Through their service, veterans have our backs. Now we should have theirs. Learn more at gotyoursix.org.
My name is Juanita Segura, and I was diagnosed in November of 2014 with non-small cell lung cancer. The first time I heard about biomarker testing was actually my husband. He just started researching about lung cancer.
And I found out about biomarker testing, and I'm like, why not? Let's try it.
I'm Dr. Jorge Gomez, thoracic medical oncologist at the Mount Sinai Hospital. Comprehensive biomarker testing is looking for either substances in the blood or mutations in some of the genes of the cancer cells that can help us identify special types of lung cancer that can be treated with what we call targeted therapy.